Live?
I think. Now we're live.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 250. In this episode, we are going to react to the NBA All-Star Starters, talk about the 76ers and Clippers win streaks, Ben Simmons Falloff, and make our All-NBA defensive teams. Shout out to everybody listening in the stream currently. We know we started late, but we had to edit a commercial for Mojo that we did. And that's why we started a little bit late. But how are you guys doing today?
I had no clue it was episode 250.
It is episode 250.
Big number, man.
50 away from 300.
Quarter way to 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's
crazy. Like that.
That's nuts.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
He's right.
He was.
He is right. He's right.
He's right.
Yeah, man.
I'm doing pretty great, man. I can't complain. No sunglasses today. First time.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, man.
The eyes are healing well.
They're healing a lot better recently. The redness in my eye is gone, which is why I was wearing the sunglasses for so long. So I decided to make my natural return. What's going on, Riff? How you doing, man? You good?
I feel great.
Yeah, man.
It took Riv like 20 minutes to leave his house today to get in the car.
Yeah,
we
that
were
was
waiting
some
for him
shit.
for so
I
long.
had to put my I had to put my son down. I had to lay him down.
Yeah, down to bed. I got you.
Down to bed.
I had to lay him down and shit.
It's all good, bro.
Sorry, man.
Understand?
Nah, because you know when you say I had to put my dog down.
yeah,
That's why
I know
what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, before we start the show, John has a microphone now.
Yes, sir.
So unmute that, and if you guys can hear John talking, let us know in the chat. We want to make sure it works.
Shout out John.
Jokic still clears Embiid.
I can't hear John that great on my headphones.
No,
No,
we're
we
not
can't.
going to hear
We
him,
can't
but
hear
the
him.
audience should be able to hear him.
Really?
Yeah, the chat should.
Can you guys hear John?
I made the intro beat, Miko. Did you guys hear John?
Yeah,
Did you guys hear his mic?
Y'all want to
Come
throw 0 and 6s, but y'all can't answer our
Okay,
question.
they heard John.
Okay.
All right.
They
that
said
sounds good.
low, though. They said low.
Jody did say
It's
low.
low. Okay, so that means you got to turn the mic up a little bit, John. But, oh my goodness. A great game just happened. Joel
Fantastic.
Embiid,
Facts.
Nikola Jokic. And I tweeted in the third quarter that Embiid is playing better than Jokic. He's outplaying him. Oh my God, that tweet got flooded with Jokic stands. Thanks to Swiper Cam. He quote tweeted it very early.
Shout out to Swiper.
And thanks to him, all the Jokic stands came out of nowhere. And we're like, are you watching the same game? Are you watching? Then Embiid goes off for 40. Oh my goodness.
It was a tale of two halves. In the first half, the Jokic fans had every right to be upset at you. In the second half, they had to be quiet because it was the Embiid show. And the fact that they were down 15 and he came back and Embiid was as great as he was, the Jokic fans had to shut up because he was electric.
When do we get another Riv Academy video? People want it. I've seen it on Twitter. Seen in the comments.
Hold on. So Shaq responded to Katie. He said, I don't know ball, but I know how to brush my hair or decide to cut it when I was going ball. Love always the bus driver.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even think KD was disrespecting him or anything like that.
He said he don't know ball.
He
It's kinda
said,
disrespectful.
does Shaq not know ball?
But what
Question
Shaq
mark?
said was stupid. With all due respect.
Oh, no.
It's a Shaq-like thing to
Yeah,
say.
this is a dumb thing to say.
Oh, no, but to answer your question, this week,
This week?
I had to do a couple of tinker.
Okay.
So
Sneak peek, what topic?
there,
Can't tell you. It's not a Celtics one.
there
waiting.
is a surprise
Never
that we have currently in the studio. So Paul Murray on Instagram hit up the Pick a Side podcast messages, and
Murray,
he
go.
said this. Yo, it's almost carnival season here in NOLA, and I wanted to send y'all boys a king cake. And the king cake is here. He told me it was on his way, and it's in the studio right now. John is to the left of you. Could you go get us the king cake? We want to put it in the middle of the
King
table.
Cake? What is it?
Are we going to eat it?
We could eat it. Why not?
I've been on my skinny vibes, but I'll tell you what.
I've been skinny
I'm
my
eating
whole
the
life.
fuck out of this cake.
What is this?
Oh, wow.
He sent this?
the hell?
Oh, this smells phenomenal.
Shout out to Paul Murray for the king cake.
Shout out to Paul
I don't know if
Murray,
you guys
he's great.
if you can see it right now in the chat.
This shit smells dumb
It
good.
smells crazy.
Smells like
John, were
honey
there
bun.
plates by the table?
Utensils, maybe?
I love the NOLA colors and the sprinkles. It smells like a honey bun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It
Fucking
also
love honey
came with
buns.
a chain. The chain is over there. I don't know if you can see it, does.
I'll grab it.
It's
Let's
a chain.
go.
The chain says "blow me."
Nah, that's vibes.
Does it actually?
It does. It's a whistle attached to it. There's a whistle attached to it.
Let me see this. I'll get active for the
Can
one
you be
time.
my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Let me
I'm gonna
know.
blow the whistle.
Jesus.
Bro, I did what it
Bro,
said.
we're toasted.
I just
Please
did
Shout
what
out
it
to
said.
Paul Murray,
Shout
man.
out to Paul Murray, man.
Manny Randazzo King Cakes, the best in New Orleans.
Bro.
He
Shout
waited
out.
2.5 hours in line to get this for us.
Oh my God.
That's
Yo,
legit
Shout
real.
out Paul Murray.
He realer than a lot of dudes I know for real. Put that on my
I got you. I'm gonna dice this up. I used to work at Sky Zone.
All right. So shout out to Paul Murray for the cake. And also, we have a gift from Santos.
Santos.
Our
Santos,
brother
Yeah,
a
Santos.
Santos.
loyal
Close
supporter
today.
of the show. He
Damn.
gives us gifts all the
It's
time.
250. I love it.
So I'm not going to get all these cups out, but just know he sent these kind of like cups, jars kind of thing. And he sent a lot of different colors of it.
Oh, that's
So
tough.
this is
Actually,
what it is.
vibes.
Yo, that's fire.
Facts. I saw that. He sent me the light blue one.
And there's
Yo,
different
shout out to
colors.
Santos, man.
What color I get?
I don't know.
Shout out to Santos. That's a.
And there's 5 in here, so I'm guessing it's one for each of us, including John.
Let's go.
Let's go,
So
John.
shout out to Paul
Here you go,
Murray
brother.
and Santos for the gifts.
you.
We appreciate it.
Let's go.
Let's throw some W's in the chat for Santos and Paul Murray. Throw some W's in the chat.
God, there's icing all over the place.
Yo, this smacks.
It's
good.
just like a
Smack
$100.
good. Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
2 hours, 2.5 hours is crazy, but you're a real one, bro. This is worth it. I would wait 2 hours for this.
For real?
2 hours
It's
in
that
lines, OD. The closest thing we have to that is our B&W crumb cake. But I'll tell you what, we do not have a line like 2 hours. The B&W crumb cake does go.
It does.
It does. It's fantastic. But let's lock in. Let's lock
This is
in.
Great.
good. Yeah, you guys know. First topic of the show.
Somebody said, yo, for real, 100%. Watch out. They usually cook a small plastic baby inside the cake. It's tradition.
Who said that dumb shit?
Noah.
I think that might be true because there was something I read that there's a doll inside.
It's like 8 pieces, so.
One of us is going to. What the hell is this?
So, okay. We are going to get Pee-wee on the podcast very soon. I've been talking to him recently. We're definitely going to get him on.
We miss him.
First topic of the
miss
show.
Brown. Facts.
Let's get into it. Reaction to the East All-Star Starters. Now, the Eastern Conference All-Star Starters were Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know about you guys, but the first name that sticks out to me is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was definitely snubbed. And if there's somebody that he should have made it over,
I can only imagine.
it was Giannis.
Interesting.
It's Giannis. He should have made it over
I
Giannis.
agree with
captain.
you. I agree with you.
he
yes.
should have made it over the captain.
Yes, KD should have been there, especially with how the Nets been doing since he's been out. Sub 500.
Mhm.
But if you want to keep Giannis in there because KD's injured, I understand. I think Tatum deserves a spot.
You said under 500 for the Nets without KD.
Yeah, so
when you
far.
said I
so far.
overreacted last
Well,
week.
so far they're
Okay.
beating the Knicks right now.
They-
So far.
I mean,
Beating
they
the shit
beat
out the
so far.
Knicks.
lost the Pistons.
But
the same.
Mitchell, Kyrie, those were all good. Joel Embiid, come on. He's leading the league in scoring.
He's been fantastic.
I believe if he's not one, he's number
No,
two.
he's number
He's
one.
number one.
He's number one.
And the Sixers are the second seed in the Eastern Conference, one of the hottest teams in the league in general.
Facts.
I mean, I thought this was a blatant snub, and he said it in the postgame after he beat Jokic and outplayed him. He said, I keep getting disrespected, but all he hopes for is to be healthy come playoff time and not get a silly injury so he can go on a historic run. That's what he wants.
I personally, I'm sorry, Riv, to cut
Damn,
you
he
off.
didn't get a word
I
out
just,
other than,
I have a tough time letting the
This is
captain
NBA,
sit.
It's my shit. You know what I'm saying? He just cut
Bro,
me.
I do both. Respect me. Come on.
That was just odd. You know what I'm saying?
I just have a tough time sitting with the fact that Giannis, the team captain of the Eastern Conference, is going to sit out.
They both said it.
I have a tough time sitting with that. And I say that with the fact that Giannis is third in the league in scoring. So it's not like Giannis has been slouching himself. He had a bad 2 games in a row and people were having a stroke over it, but he was back and
Wasn't it
he's
like a
been
week?
back in form. Yeah, no, I think it was a couple of games. But he was back. I think last night he dropped a 40 bomb. He's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a league favorite. He has to make the All-Star game. Now, my issue with this isn't more so that Embiid was snubbed, because yes, I agree with you. I think Embiid was deserving to be a starter. But I feel personally that these 4 guys all deserve to be a starter. And somebody was going to be upset. So if if Tatum is the one that's not the starter, if Giannis is not the one who's a starter, if KD is not the one who's a starter, there is going to be an uproar over every single one of these names. We knew this. When we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, we said one of these 4 guys is going to be upset and there's going to be an uproar about it. And here it is. Joel Embiid, who I think we all had Joel Embiid coming off the bench as well. We picked Tatum, Giannis, and KD to make it over him. But it's not an indictment on Joel Embiid. It's more so just the structure of the All-Star game. And also with the fact that we would have been upset with any of these guys not making it. So realistically, I feel like Riv's going to say this as well and put the exclamation on it. It should not be about 2 guards, 3 forwards. It should not be. It should be the best in the conference should make the All-Star game. I'm fine with that, but where it currently stands, you can't be upset. I personally feel that way.
I had Embiid starting first. I'll just point that out there. I had Tatum come off the bench.
He probably did. He probably did.
And I believe that.
Definitely did.
I believe that.
Definitely.
I mean, he's playing better than him. Embiid's playing better than Tatum. He is.
Even if he is.
You saw what he did today?
Even if
Have
he is.
have you seen what Tatum's been?
Have you seen what Embiid's been doing?
No, listen. There's been a lot of league guys.
OD.
A lot of guys playing at the
When the
top of the
Celtics
top
lose
league.
tonight against the Lakers, Sixers going to be top for that first spot. Believe it.
They're 1 game back.
No, they're 2.5. They're 1.5 games back, I think. Now.
Okay, we're chilling.
It's close. Sixers are coming. That was my first seed before the year started.
Yeah, so with them rules.
We're talking about the East Conference right now.
My bad.
Talking about the East right now.
That was a
Come
stretch.
on. Don't be disrespectful.
I agree with Drew. Only because I said this to him outside.
As we were walking in.
Yeah, as we were walking in, I did say this, and but we had a little conversation about it before, and we're pretty much on the same page in the sense of we understand the rules, but there should be outlier years where you can fix shit up because there's just no way this year should have had 2 guards in the East. You know, there was just no way. As great as Donovan's been, as great as Kyrie's been, Embiid, Giannis, KD, Tatum, they've been the 4 best players in the East comfortably. So I think those 4 should have definitely started. I feel like you could have made Tatum a guard like how you made DeMar a guard last year. Start rigging shit. I feel like you could have done a lot of things, make it a little sideways, where you could have got Embiid on the team because it just doesn't make sense. Embiid, Giannis, KD, Tatum, all of them should be starting in the East. So one of those guards would have had to miss a spot for me. But definitely up for Embiid fans, I definitely think you should uproar because this is every past 3-4 years he's coming in second.
Okay.
He's been second behind the Joker. Now he's second behind KD, Giannis, and Tatum for a starting spot. He's just always coming in second, and that shit must really suck because he's been playing at a phenomenal level in the regular season. But the narrative around him is always the playoffs. Can't get past the second round. And that shit, as much as people like to say the regular season and the playoffs is different, they always love to bring narratives from the playoffs into the regular season. So
Sure.
they make it stick. So, I mean, definitely Embiid is the one. I think the guards, they got it perfect, though, if you go by the rules. I do think Mitchell and Kyrie have been the
100%.
best guards in the league, in the East, pardon me. And then the 3 guys, you can't say they got right because there was no real right answer because all 4 should be on the team.
Perfect.
Not only is it just MVP for Embiid, but it's all NBA, all defensive team. He always comes in second basically every year the last 3-4 years. He's always just one step behind, and it feels rude. I mean, I'm not a Sixers fan. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I feel bad for Embiid. They're probably – them and the Nets are probably the 2 teams I hate the most in the East. But like you guys mentioned, one person's going to be pissed off. And the reason we say Giannis, or I guess the reason why Giannis won't ever sit is because he's the most popular player. Like, people love Giannis, his personality. Obviously a great basketball player, but that's why he's going to have the most votes, especially in the East. The only guys, like, he's in the stratosphere with LeBron and Steph Curry. Like, that's where he is. So even though if you want to talk strictly on the court, Giannis is playing great, right? He's putting up the numbers, but by Giannis's standard, just is a down year in terms of efficiency. He has been by far, I mentioned this on previous podcasts, like in his last 5-6 years, this is his least efficient season. So he's giving you 31 points. He's doing it on like 22 shots. That's kind of what he is. And, his free throw percentage has come down a lot this year too. So when we say one person has to go, we're obviously have to nitpick. We're talking about all of these guys are an MVP consideration. And when you look at Tatum, number 1 team in the NBA, he's doing on both ends of the court. KD, when he was healthy, they were within a game of the number 1 seed. Joel Embiid right now, a game and a half out of first. They're all doing spectacular things.
Giannis too.
So, it really comes down to little things like that. But I do feel bad for Embiid in this case where he is constantly coming in second and being, when we're going to look back on his career right now, we realize how great he is. But I feel like 10, 15 years now, when you look back, it's like, oh, never MVP, never first team. He might get a little disrespected.
Yeah, he'll be the pretty much. Who do I want to?
Why are we talking about what he's going to be when His career's not over yet. He's still
No,
playing
it's
right
not.
now.
No, I mean
It's
like
not.
like
But like these are his
He could
peak
win
years.
MVP this season.
It's gonna be
it
tough.
feels
Can
like
he
the
not?
No, it feels like the Joker's pretty much won this shit already. The way people are making it seem.
He still got 30 plus
got
games.
time.
left.
I agree, but I feel
30
like
games left.
If
yeah.
Philly
like-
ends with the best record in the NBA, he'll have a chance.
They're definitely on pace to do that.
Yeah, I mean they're on a 6-game heater.
7 now.
7 now.
Seven. I
now.
have to say, yeah, 7-game heater.
And even if the Sixers are second in the East, but they have a better record than Denver and slightly behind Boston,
it won't matter.
it's Embiid.
If
bro.
Denver has
I don't
the
know.
1 seed,
I think so,
it won't
too.
matter how many games. The
Well,
Sixers are ahead
Philly
of
can get the 1 seed. They can. You saw how James Harden's playing?
He's been bugging.
He's a true
doing
point
his
guard. I
thing.
told you he's the top 3-point guard ever.
Well, it's a
Behind
shame.
Steph and
It's a shame
Magic.
because you had him listed as a shooting guard when
Yeah,
you did your
Well,
shooting guard
both.
list.
He's the 4th best shooting guard ever.
Can you
Third
just
best
pick one?
point
But
guard
shit
ever.
going on
Yeah,
here.
you're
What
telling me,
are we
you told
doing
me-
here?
you told me he was a
Position?
shooting guard this year. That's why I'm trying to understand what he is.
Well, he can be either. Hey, James
He
Harden
can.
could do anything.
He can.
Yeah.
But he's a point guard now.
He is.
Okay.
He
He's
is.
a point guard
You
now.
don't have
So what is-
11
no
assists
ring.
as a
So
two.
in terms of if we're ranking James Harden as a
No,
point
what's
guard
the-
right
what was
now,
the need for that?
He's
that's disrespectful.
right now.
it is disrespectful.
He's a point guard right now.
Why? What did he say?
Undoubtedly.
No ring.
Oh my God!
He's
Come
a point
on.
guard. He's a point
If
guard.
he's a point guard right now, where does James Harden rank amongst
a
point guards in
fourth.
the NBA currently?
You had Isaiah
Really?
Thomas over him. You
What?
agreed with me. Yes.
Let me ask you.
And all time, we're talking about all time. Yeah, we both had Steph, Magic.
No, we're talking about right
19.
now.
We're talking about right now.
We're talking about right
Oh,
now. That's
it's
why. You
today.
But
have
I don't disagree with
Oh, yeah,
that.
I'm
so
sorry.
Rafe, so
He's
you
top
have
5.
you have
No, I thought we were talking about all time. Pardon
Yeah.
me. I didn't mean
Top
to-
5 probably.
because you have
Maybe
Steph,
close to
you
five.
have Luca.
This year.
Ja.
This year.
Yep.
Steph,
Luka,
Ja,
Ja,
SGA,
SGA.
yeah.
Dame or
Game has been
Ja,
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
amazing.
I would probably go with
That's
Dame.
a- that's
I'll
a-
go with
Harden
Dame.
over
Harden. I understand.
Kyrie or Harden.
Harden.
Kyrie's
His
a two.
playmaking. He leads the
Kyrie's a
NBA
two.
in
That's-
assists.
that's facts. That's
But Dame
facts.
and Kyrie scoring this year.
No, but, yo, but-
Harden doesn't need to score. He has somebody like that in Embiid. He's playing his role.
He's probably in the 5-7 range. 5-7 range.
Yeah, definitely. The
Facts.
point guards are stacked right now. In the
No,
NBA.
they
They
are.
are.
Yeah, being the 5th best point guard shows you how
Point guard's
crazy this year's
the
been.
point guard's the strongest position in the league by
It's
far.
Steph, Ja, Luca, no order. SGA. That's it. Those are only 4 clear cut over
Okay.
Harden.
I understand that. Okay.
Trey Young or Harden?
James Harden.
Okay,
James
This year?
Harden. Yeah.
that's
James Harden.
okay.
yeah. James Harden.
The efficiency is where I understand, but Trey has been definitely putting it together recently.
Yeah, the Hawks as a
But
whole.
I understand. I
He's the
I
worst
probably would.
defender in NBA history.
Okay, that's. I mean, you're making a very good point.
So Santos
Like
donated
NBA
$20.
history.
Santos.
And Santos-
NBA history. I know.
Remember Muggsy Bogues? I'd probably
Santos
say
goes-
Muggsy Bogues.
Yo, I didn't check if the Packers arrived or not. See how fast my shipping is compared to Drew's. The youngest
Ooh.
person get
okay.
to pick first for the tumbler and the oldest pick last. But I let Drew pick his already.
I'll tell you what.
Damn.
I've never seen someone
I'm the oldest.
so ungrateful
Disrespect.
to get a hoodie.
Did it come in the mail?
Yes.
He got it?
Yes.
He sent you a picture?
No, he didn't send me a picture,
Oh,
but he told me
just
he
said,
got it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Just making sure.
Wait, what are we picking?
I just want to hold you accountable.
It just took long.
Jesus Christ.
What are we picking?
The
The
color?
color of the tumbler. It's called a tumbler.
Well,
Yeah,
John's
I
the
was-
youngest, technically.
Oh, word.
Right now, Drew Holiday or James Harden.
James Harden.
I'm going James
I
Harden
will always
too.
probably pick James Harden.
Yeah. Even though defensively, obviously, Drew's going to be one of the most
James
elite.
hasn't been bad this year.
But I agree with your analysis of the Eastern Conference All-Star starters should be the best players in the East.
For sure.
I think they got this right most outside of not having Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
The other
Joel
four, right?
Embiid has been the best player in the Eastern Conference this season. I don't think that's a debate right now. With how he's playing,
Tatum
he's
is back
averaging
down in the
33 and
conversation.
10.
You're using-
Tatum's
KD.
within that conversation
Say
for
KD.
sure.
I know
He's
he's
averaging
hurt.
33 and 10.
He
So
doesn't clear those other two.
if I'm listening to best players that have been in the Eastern Conference this year, number 1 is Embiid. Number 2 is KD when he's been healthy. Number 3 is Giannis. Number 4 is Tatum. Number 5 is Mitchell.
But you
That's
just
my
told,
five.
but you just told me that Giannis
Where's
shouldn't be a
Tatum? Did you
starter.
say
I said Tatum.
Oh, okay.
All right,
What do you mean?
Four.
So then-
KD's been
all right,
better.
so that
Giannis
was-
been better.
that would
Embiid's
be-
been better.
Wait, that would be your
Four,
5 then.
crazy,
Like,
bro.
essentially, if they...
That would be
Tatum,
the 5.
Tatum's
Okay.
doing on both sides of the court, averaging
I feel
career
like
high
Giannis
points
is-
per
Giannis
game.
is DPOY candidate.
Number 1
So,
seed, bro.
Giannis
Number
is
one
what?
seed.
Embiid-
Giannis,
Embiid-
wait, Giannis is
and-
what?
Tatum's been great defensively.
He's a DPOY candidate.
He ain't that this
not
year.
Well,
Well,
but
he's a
yeah.
second. He's an All NBA defender though.
this
Jason
year,
Tatum will-
Tatum's been
been a great
unbelievable.
Tatum
defender.
will not be an All NBA defender this year.
He's
He won't.
when we talk about our all
And some of the
defensive list,
advanced-
he
some
will
of the
be on
advanced
mine.
stats, yeah, some of the
He
advanced
will
stats
be
show
on
some of his
mine.
top 10
He
defenders
hasn't
this
been a
year.
better defender than Joel Embiid this season. He has not been a better
He's
defender
a
than KD
big.
this season or Giannis
He's
this
a
season.
big. They're asking different
You
things.
could argue that he's been better than Giannis.
I have
Just
3
two different
wings
positions, those
that I
tough.
think will probably go ahead of Tatum.
OG
Yeah.
Anunoby's been a better defender than Tatum this year.
That
Just 3, though.
Okay,
Not-
He's
not-
leading
that
in
one's
steals.
fine.
Nothing
That one's
crazy.
fine.
Great.
The injury definitely was one of those where he wasn't out a super extended amount of time, but it was enough where I just see what Tatum does night in, night out. both sides.
We can agree Donovan Mitchell's been top 5 in the East.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with that.
But
I'm not. I'm not
that's my
expecting.
gripe,
I'm
though.
not expecting you to put Tatum higher.
feel like you
No,
gotta
but my issue is
What do you mean? That's analysis. That's
my
facts.
God.
I feel like you gotta
Has
put
KD
KD
not been better than Tatum?
I feel like KD got to go 1.
It's debatable.
Yeah,
Has
it's not-
Giannis not been better than
They don't
Tatum this year?
clear.
Has Giannis not
K-
been better than
KD
Tatum?
or
think so.
Embiid?
KD has to go 1.
I think
Embiid has been better than
If you're talking
KD
about
this
when
year.
he was healthy, KD was the best player.
Bro,
in the
Embiid's
East.
averaging 33 and 10 and 4 assists.
But
KD was
KD's
bugging.
efficiency was
Yeah.
He was
stupid.
putting up 30
everywhere.
If you want, listen, if you
crazy
want to have
efficiency.
KD 1, that's fine. All I'm saying is that
Tatum
Joel
is not.
Embiid,
He just doesn't want Tatum 1.
has
That's
been
the
the
end of it.
number
He just
1
doesn't want
or
Tatum
number
1.
2 player in the
Okay.
East, and he's not starting.
My question is, where I hate to do this, but you said Giannis would be 3 on your list. But
Correct.
you just told me Giannis would get kicked out of the All-Star game.
You did
And-
say that.
There's a reason for that.
All right.
Because
he hates Tatum.
when talking about the All-Star starters, you have to account winning. That's why I look at Joel Embiid. He should be on here because he's the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference right now.
So why doesn't he
Giannis
take
is
that into account with Tatum? He's
That's
the 1
why.
seed.
That's why he gets left in because Giannis is the 3rd seed.
No,
so
but
I
when you're
take
just
him out.
ranking these players who's been the best in the East, why doesn't winning
What
go
seed
into
are
that?
the Bucks right now? 4?
Because I'm talking about it from an individual standpoint.
But don't you think winning contributes?
Yeah, but all of them are winning at a high level.
Yeah, but the Celtics and Tatum have the best record in the NBA and have had it the entire season.
And the Sixers are only a game behind them.
Yeah, now, but we've been comfortably ahead of
Bucks
them
are
the whole
the
year.
3rd seed.
I know. That's why I'm saying
all
that.
top 3, and
That's
that's
why.
a 4.
That's why when I rank my top players in the East, they were all over Tatum because they have all been winning a lot. It's not like one guy's the 7th seed and one guy's the 1st seed. No, it's 1, 2, 3. And when KD
Tatum's
was
1.
healthy, they were the top 2 seed.
Yeah,
Or
they were the
2nd
2.
seed. Yeah,
The 2 seed.
And the Celtics also have another borderline All-NBA performer in Jaylen Brown on the team, right?
Yeah,
they have a great
Kyrie.
roster. What's been their record without Marcus Smart? Marcus Smart's the heart and soul of your team. You told me you would take DeJounte Murray over Marcus Smart before.
He's more talented.
Well, Marcus Smart, since he's been out, you guys have been
I
struggling.
said in a vacuum. I remember this. I said in a vacuum, DeJounte's more talented player for the Celtics was Smart.
The
Don't try
point
to
is
twist
that
my words on
without
Smart,
Marcus
bro.
Smart, you guys are
You
struggling.
said Brogdon should start
Tatum
over
should
him.
pick it up.
You said there's going to be a
Giannis,
fight. Brogdon should start.
Giannis has been playing
Yo,
without
Tatum's
Chris
last 10's
Middleton.
been averaging like 35,
Giannis
bro.
has been playing without Chris Middleton. Embiid, Harden
Hold
has
on.
been out. Max has been out for some
We
stretches.
won
What are we
9
talking
games
about?
in a row, and now we lost 3 games in a row. And this is what we're going to do. We're 9-3 in our last 12. Do you want to stay on that statement?
Longest
Of what?
active streaks of 20-plus point games. LeBron with 29. Number 2, Jason Tatum with 19.
Tatum's been nothing short of fantastic.
Like, come on.
He's not better than Joel Embiid.
If someone came up to you and said, I'm taking Tatum over Embiid, are you
don't-
going to
you don't think
scoff
twice.
at it?
No.
I'm not going to scoff at it, but I'm going to say Embiid is a better player than him.
That's fine. I mean,
Riv,
it's-
am I
you're
crazy here?
nitpicking.
No.
I don't
wouldn't
think
call
you're
you
crazy.
crazy.
I don't think
Am
you're
I
all these
incorrect
guys-
here
You
in
just
this
made it.
statement?
You just make it
Is
sound like
Embiid a
it's
better player
clearing.
than Jason Tatum?
In my opinion, you're correct. I guess
If one should
But
start in the All-Star game,
I don't think it's
Is it Embiid or
easy.
Tatum?
I don't think it's easy to say.
Neither do
one
I.
guy.
Neither do I. He was just so confident in Embiid.
Yeah,
the best player.
I would
was
say
like,
Embiid, but
I
I
just
can
wanted to
see
slow
why
you
Tatum.
down.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
easy.
not upset with
Tatum-
it. Tatum at 4 is kind of crazy, but I would
he's
have
not
Tatum
better
in the
than
top
Giannis,
3.
KD, or Embiid.
Has he been having a better season than Giannis?
He has had a better
Tatum.
season, Giannis, without a doubt.
Not individually.
Huh?
Not individually, no.
Think so?
Why?
Giannis has been a better player than him.
I just think the two-way, because we've seen Tatum play at an elite level defensively. Forget about offensively, because he's already one of the best offensive players in the league, for sure. Defensively, he's turned it up again this year. It's like, how can we ignore that he is
That's
one
not
of
the
the best?
disrespect, bro.
I don't want to.
It's not disrespect. He's 4th.
Is it crazy to say he's arguably the best two-way player in the league right now?
No, because he's
It's
not
not
better
crazy
than
to play at
Joel
all.
Embiid. Joel Embiid's a better two-way player than Jason Tatum.
How confident
Joel
can you say
Embiid.
that?
What do you mean?
though?
The
It's tough. It's
Sixers
close.
right now
Very
have
close.
a top 6 defense in the league.
for sure.
And that's anchored by Joel
I'm gonna
Embiid.
start saying some crazy shit in a minute.
Who you? Yeah. Say it right now.
Wait, who? What was the question?
Is Tatum right now the best two-way player in the league?
It's probably Embiid.
And Giannis is better than him still. And KD's been better two-way than him this year, too.
It's better than two-way.
That's what I'm saying. That's
It's
why
all
Tatum
debatable.
is
It's
forward.
all really
KD's been
close.
an amazing shot blocker. It's just like the on-ball defense that Tatum just
yeah.
is just crazy.
It is. Embiid's asked for different things than Tatum defensively.
Which matters more
Embiid is probably
defensively.
more important. Defensively,
I understand what you mean. He's an anchor. It's tough when you evaluate a
Exactly.
center and a small
Tatum's
and a wing.
not doing what Embiid's doing. He's not asked to do that, so you can't be like, well, he's not as important. He's
Like,
asked for
I
different
see
things.
I see where you're coming from for sure.
Tatum is a great on-ball defender. I don't think we look at him like OG Anunoby where he's locking people up, though, left and right. Am I crazy for saying that?
No, you're not crazy.
It's OG's.
I feel like let's not act like Jason Tatum is prime Kawhi Leonard on defense.
No.
Like let's not. Like
no.
I feel like is that how? I feel like that's how you guys are.
I don't think it
no.
is.
Am I crazy for saying
That's
that?
no.
think it is.
If you want to exaggerate,
He's not a lock-up guy.
Prime
He's
Kawhi
good. He's
Leonard.
great. He's not a lock-up.
If you
He's
want to
not
exaggerate
elite
it to that
on-ball.
point to make you sound more right, I'm fine with it.
I am
That's
just
not what we're
saying.
doing. All we're doing is simply evaluating the facts.
You said he's the best two-way
Jason
player in the league.
You could argue that he is.
Why?
Because offensively,
He hasn't
he's
been better
amazing.
defensively than Joel Embiid or Giannis, and they have both
He
been better
probably-
offensively.
Giannis and Tatum definitely is a conversation this season. Joel Embiid, yes, he has been amazing
Like
defensively.
what defensive stats does Jason Tatum have to
Defensive
warrant him
win
being
share?
the top,
Find out. Let's
the
defensive
best
win
top
share?
two, the best
out
top
right now.
two-way player in the league?
He's one of the league leaders in defensive win shares.
He's not the league leader though.
no,
Who's the
he's
league
not.
leader in defensive win shares?
It is Evan
Bam
Mobley.
Talk.
Evan Mobley, and number 2 is Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
My dogs.
He is.
I love them.
And also when it comes to defensive rating, Jason Tatum also is among one of the lowest in the league as well. It's like, listen, I understand where you're coming from. You're not getting a lot of pushback from me. I'm simply acknowledging and appreciating what Tatum is doing. If you want to take Embiid, that's preference. I'm fine with it. They do different things. He is more of the general on the defensive side when it comes to his team. But it's not taken away from the fact that Tatum is a great on-ball defender, and on top of it, he is still one of the most elite offensive players in this game.
Is he a better on-ball defender than Jimmy Butler?
Right now, I would probably take Tatum. Right now, I would take Tatum.
What do you think?
In their
That's
careers,
close.
I mean, Jimmy Butler made a career of being an amazing on-ball defender.
Very smoked
Who's a
out.
better
What's the
on-ball
question?
defender, Jason Tatum or Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler.
In 2023.
Who's a better
That's
on-ball
close.
defender this year, Paul George or Jason Tatum?
Paul George. This year.
That's fucking Paul George guy.
No, actually.
No,
did a
he
lot
has.
of
This is
research.
defensive
It-
the
it's Paul
defensive
George.
box plus minus whatever.
No,
the
he's
hell.
been the most
Defensive win
versatile
share.
player in
His
the league
defensive
this
win
year.
share. Tatum's fourth.
That's what I'm saying. Tatum's been unbelievable.
He's not. Is Jason Tatum even a top 2 defender on his team when healthy?
Talking about Smart and Rob.
That's the.
I think he's a better defender than Brown this year.
I think he's talking about
Yeah, I'm
Smart.
talking about
He's
Rob
talking
Will and
Smart
Marcus
and
Smart.
Rob Will.
Ah, fuck.
When they're
Yeah,
healthy,
no.
no. The answer is no.
I mean,
He's
those
not
are
even
two of
the
the
best
best defenders in the
defender.
league. What
But
are you
this
talking
year
about?
he's the best
Talking about?
defender
no.
on his team.
This year he's
Like
been
they're
no.
those
This year
two
you
guys
could
are
say he's
both
been the best
defensive player of the
defensive
year
player.
guys last year, bro.
But this year you
Like,
could
we
say
have a
that he is the best
ridiculous
defensive
defense.
player on his team. This year you could say that.
Because Rob Will's been out the majority of the season. Marcus Smart just went out. That's why.
Well,
but he's
not even-
normally
even
he's
prior
not
to
the
Marcus
best
Smart.
defender.
But you can't. That's not fair. They're two of the best defenders in the league. So saying he's not a top 2 defender on his team, those two guys would be the best defenders on 27 other teams.
Last
in the league.
year?
Not over Giannis.
Last year, I'm with you.
Not over
Last
Giannis.
year, your
27
statement
other
is
and
facts.
teams.
that's why I'm saying Tatum's not the best
No.
two-way player because
Look-
Giannis exists.
Who else are we talking about? Kevin Durant.
Last
10
year, your
guys in
statement's
this thing.
100% correct. Tatum was not a top 2 defender on
else
his
are we
team.
comparing
But
him
this year, it's not a question. Tatum's the best defender in his team right
Tatum.
I
now.
got
KD.
Embiid. I got KD.
Giannis.
All right, I got Paul George, Giannis, Joel, Tatum, Butler, Kevin Durant. Let's see how it looks.
What chart are you cooking up over here?
B-ball index. So I'm cooking up the
Oh, you can
defensive-
create your own charts?
You can.
That's hard.
So
I didn't see Tatum at the top of
at
any
one,
of
it's
my
Embiid, 94.8 percentile.
What's this measuring?
D LeBron.
Okay.
How
Uh,
impactful you are defensively
Without
number
all the
2
luck
per 100
adjusted-
possessions.
At
No,
two,
it adjusts for a lot of that.
no, yeah, it
Oh,
adjusts.
no,
already.
I've seen the video.
2 is Giannis, 88 percentile. 3 is Butler, 86.9 percentile. 4 is PG, 80.3 percentile. 5 is Jason Tatum, 75.6 percentile. 6 is Kevin Durant, 72.6 percentile. It's tough. Would you like me to read offense?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so Tatum's 1. Giannis is 2.
Amazing.
Kevin Durant is 3. Embiid is 4. Butler is 5. PG is 6. Ooh. And then in total, 1 is Tatum.
Come on.
2 is Embiid. It's close though. It's 99.
is a
What is total
conversation.
in one?
It's all close.
It's
bro.
just
We're talking about
LeBron
the
in
top-
general. Yeah, it's
we're talking
99.
about the
Yeah,
top
they're
players in
all
the league.
close.
It's like what you're
Yeah.
saying, you have a lot of evidence to support your claim. It's just simple. Jason Tatum's been unbelievable
Yes,
all
he has.
season.
So outside of the defensive part, Tatum's pretty much at the top
Tatum
of the
was
list.
4th,
Fifth.
5th?
Tatum
Here's
was
the-
He's
He's
on,
had
the
KD.
best team in the league. So
But he
those stats
wasn't
would
in,
be-
like,
But he's
Yeah, don't
also
you
the
think that
best
should
player on.
matter?
He's the best player on the best team in the league. Stop it. Stop, Joel. You're gonna
He
lose
has
me
a
now.
lot of help.
You're gonna lose me
He has a
now.
lot of
You're
help.
gonna lose me
I
now.
love this. I love this.
He has a
computer.
lot of help.
You're gonna lose me now. Nah, laptop Riv is diff.
Laptop Rev did do his thing right there.
He did.
You're upset that
You
shit
have
did
to you have to pay for that.
No, I'm
or
not
is it free?
upset.
$5.
A month.
And I'm not. I don't think that
That's a come
it
up. Yeah,
overly
I-
boosted
I-
my claim either.
I like it, though.
It's simple as this: Joel Embiid has been amazing
Made the best player in
defensively.
the East.
Oh, actually, no. I don't have to pay.
Apparently,
for that. That was clean and
according to
glass.
this,
That
no.
B-ball
No,
index
he
is
has
free.
not. I don't care what that says.
Oh,
Yeah. If I'm sure if Tatum was last, you would have cared a lot.
you would have.
I saw
You
your
would.
face when he was fifth
When
on
he
the
was
first
fifth,
list. He would sit back like, yeah, I told Number one offense, number one overall. He got real quiet.
There's so many numbers that could back up Tatum. I mean, he's playing on a stacked team.
Yeah, the problem is like some of Tatum's defensive stats. He's not, at the top of.
It's gonna get skewed because he's not.
John, who's the best two-way player in the league right now?
Underrated. It's poor George. I'm telling you. I don't want to listen to.
Might be Bam, but I would go with Giannis.
Do you think Tatum's a better two-way player
Bam
than
is nasty
than
work,
Embiid?
John, that's how you make your mic debut.
John,
Bam was fucking insane.
Like
over Embiid.
I get the
He's the
defensive
best defender
versatility,
of the fields.
But you got to take it
But
offense.
Put the
offense
mic
counts.
close, John. Put the mic closer to your mouth.
but offense, both. But offense, I don't know, bro.
I go with Giannis 1, Tatum 2, and then maybe.
You think Tatum's a better
Bam
two-way
3.
player than Embiid?
I'd probably put Embiid at number 3, then right behind Tatum, and then Bam and.
So you think Tatum's a better overall player than Embiid?
Nah, he's hurt. Now, overall, two different questions.
I'd rather have Tatum a wing.
He's a
than big
Jokic
man.
guy. I get it. I get it. I get it
He didn't
wholeheartedly.
like the answer.
I get it wholeheartedly. Now Embiid. I apologize if he's watching this. That the disrespect coming from.
Oh
me.
my
we're really
God.
disrespecting him, saying he's
Come
not better
on.
than Jason
So I want to
Tatum.
move on from this topic because I don't want him to feel more disrespected.
All right,
He
let's
said
move
already
on.
he's getting disrespected like
He
crazy,
is.
and it's
He said it doesn't bother him.
It sucks that it's continuing to happen on the Pick Aside podcast.
I'm a Celtics fan. I don't know what he expects.
Reacting to the Western Conference All-Star Starters.
Fuck it.
Now, the biggest gripe that people have with this list was Zion Williamson starting. Now, the starters are Steph Curry, Luka, LeBron, Zion, and Nikola Jokic. Now, Zion, should he have started? And there's been some debate around Steph. Should he have started?
Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Rev. This is a
You're
you
not
question.
gonna cut me off this time.
Oh.
You're gonna do your thing.
Eat shit.
Since the All-Star game is very, very adamant on winning record and playoffs, it's interesting with this one because the Warriors and the Thunder are very close in standings, and Zion hasn't played in a little bit of time, but I think similar to how the other side is, Zion has a case, but I think SGA, Steph, Luka, they've been pretty much better than Zion this year. And that's no slouch to Zion. Zion's been amazing this year, but those three guys have been pretty much dogs all year. I mean, SGA is backpacking in offense for OKC and trying to get him into the play-in. And they're a really good defensive team, but offensively it's SGA and others. Shout out to Jalen Williams, of course, Dortz, but it's just the SGA
I know what you
show.
mean.
And then Luka, don't really need to speak too much
Giddy?
about that. Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to Giddy too. Giddy's been really good. My fault. It was just more to highlight, SGA, how amazing he's been. But I think SGA could have started. You could have put Luka as a wing. You definitely could put Luka as a wing. But got to play by the rules, and Steph and Luka have been the better players this year.
I'm just glad the All-Star Game's acknowledging that Luka is, in fact, a point guard.
Yeah.
He is a point guard.
Oh, undoubtedly. Zion, I didn't see Zion getting in, to be honest. I didn't know he was that high in the votes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zion,
It's
he
Zion.
was mad. For a while, it was Jokic. It was LeBron, Jokic, Anthony Davis for a long time.
AD also had a case.
And maybe the media played or not the media, I'm sorry, but you know how it's the players, it's the fan vote, and then is it media?
Yeah, media's part of it.
So maybe they're the ones that voted in Zion. And
I think AD and SGA have a case. I'll be honest with you.
It's solely for the fact that I feel similarly with that AD, you could make a strong argument that he could have made it over Zion for the fact that AD's only played 3 less games than Zion this season. And let's be real, offensively and defensively, AD has been better this year. Yes, the Pelicans are winning more, and if you want to take that into account, I understand where you're coming from. But in terms of who's been playing better, I'm going with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, when he was playing earlier this year, was a top 5 player. He was phenomenal. Two-way player. You could make the case at that time he was the best two-way player in the league. That's how dominant he was playing. And I'm glad that he's back, and of course he's cooked up. We're going to talk about that later on this week in the NBA. But you definitely could have made a strong case for Anthony Davis. Now, you put that aside, Domantas Sabonis definitely is the next guy you look at to say that he has a strong case. The efficiency that he's had to be one of the catalysts. Let me not say one of. He is the
Sabonis the center?
Front court.
front court.
Okay.
To be the catalyst to that offense. I understand De'Aaron Fox is the scorer per se, but the offense is initiated and ignited by Domantas Sabonis and what he brings to the Kings. So that's the one guy that I look at to say if you want to give someone who has been completely consistent, has not missed that much time, you go with Domantas because he deserves it. The Kings have been one of the biggest, arguably the biggest surprise of the 2022-2023 season.
I think I agree with Drew. At least in terms of the Anthony Davis, if you're going to go with the guy that's injured, Anthony Davis just been better. There's no disrespect to Zion there, but I mean, he's just been the better basketball player. He was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. I know the Lakers, weren't winning probably as much to really get him in that conversation, but on both sides of the ball, I know, but
Lazy.
if in the beginning of the season, I'm saying
games
when
out of
things were
fourth.
still undecided, in terms of Zion starting, like Laurie, Sabonis, I get it, but part of the All-Star game is also the popular players, the
Agreed.
players that
100%,
wants to
bro.
get fans involved and wants to get the media hype. Like, I understand why Zion's going to do it. Obviously, he's one of the most exciting players in the league whenever he's on the court. Just a shame, he's been out for those last couple of weeks, and it always just seems like whenever Zion's starting to gain that momentum, something just sets him back by a little bit. But hopefully once he's able to get back on the court this season, he'll be good to go. And it's basically the opposite in the West and the East. The East, like, you wish you had one more spot for a forward. In the West, I feel like I wish I had one more spot for a guard. I wish you could get Ja or SGA on here. Those are two guys that I would still be starting over Zion just because they've been healthier, they've been playing more this season, and you can make the argument they're putting up better years. I know Zion has some ridiculous percentages in terms of efficiency. We know he's obviously one of the best, rim finishers in the game, getting to the basket. But it felt like the West, you wish you could have one more guard. In the East, you wish you could have one more forward. So going back to Riv and Drew's point,
Well said.
we wish you could kind of make our own rules. It's the All-Star game. Let's have fun.
Now listen.
We got some crazy super chats.
Just real quick, Dom
We have.
could not donate, so he sent me $15.
Just
for
on
all
the
of
side?
us.
Shout out
He
to
just
Dom.
sent me-
Yeah, we're gonna get the super chat soon after this segment. Real
I don't know
quick.
how we're gonna split up 15 between 5 men.
No, you just keep it.
Hold it down,
Nice.
Riv. Hold it down.
McDonald's.
There you go.
So, Dehls, I love how political you are in what you say. But
That was backhanded as hell.
Yeah, he didn't believe nothing of that.
come on, man. Come on, man.
What?
Have a stance. Anthony Davis does not deserve to start on here. Even if it's over Zion, he does not deserve to start on here. He's missed too many games. That
missed
matters.
three less.
I disagree.
I don't think Zion deserves to start either. Look, I
I-
think
I like
Zion,
consistency.
but even Zion has a better case because he was playing at MVP level and they were the third seed.
No, the
in-
winning matters.
Wait,
Agreed.
No, weren't they the first
They
seed
were
in
the
the
first
West at
seed
one point?
for, like,
they were the
Top two. Definitely.
week,
they were
maybe?
they were going back and forth every
Yeah,
day.
they were the
yeah,
one seed
but
at one
had
point, though,
Zion
yeah.
not
That's a
gotten
strong
hurt,
point.
they probably are the 1 or 2 seed right now. He had his team at the 1 seed. Anthony Davis had his team outside the play-in. They're currently 13 seed still. So that's
You're gonna call
why
it lazy?
We're 12. No, it's super lazy.
it's not lazy. It's the facts.
We're 4
It's the
games out of
facts what
4th
happened.
place. 3 games out of 4th
Okay, the
place.
Timberwolves are like 2 games out of that place.
Okay.
So what does that mean?
You tell
What does
me.
it
You're a
mean?
Timberwolves guy.
I know, Kat. When he comes back, we'll see what happens. But
Interesting.
I'm not going to make an MVP case off of he's 4 games out of 4th place. That's why he should be starting. I don't think so.
I
Look,
didn't say he was MVP. I just said he was playing at a top 5 level, which is fact.
so you think he deserves to be a starter over Domantas Sabonis based on this year impact?
no.
I think
I
Domantas
just said
Sabonis.
no.
I think Domantas
You don't
Sabonis
listen.
is one.
That's the shit that
The
pisses
first
me
guy
off.
you mentioned was Anthony Davis.
Of course, because in terms of games played, it makes sense.
Wait,
Anthony
wait,
So
Davis
I'm
is
sorry.
better.
I'm sorry.
No, but you didn't listen to me.
individually hasn't been better
I'm,
than they did.
I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You didn't listen to
I
me,
didn't
and that's
say.
why
I
you're
said
pissing
he
me
has
off.
a better case to start.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for thinking you had AD once because that's who you started your take with.
Because they know I'm the LA
And then
guy.
you said
I gotta ride
Sabonis.
for my dog.
And then you
I
said
said
Sabonis.
these two don't deserve it. You go to Domantas Sabonis. That's exactly what I
So
said.
sorry
Use
for
those-
thinking.
Use those.
Sorry
ears.
for thinking the order of your take was based on the order you gave it. It's my bad. But listen,
If you would have listened,
Who should start?
Domantas Sabonis.
SGA.
These are my starters.
All right.
Ray, if you're not gonna like it, SGA is over Steph. He's played 45 games compared to
Who's
Steph,
better,
35,
SGA or
34.
What the fuck did I say?
Bro, what
did I
was
say?
that?
What did I say on Twitter? I said I can't believe I have to do this because there's genuine people, my co-hosts, that believe
I don't
this.
think SGA is a better player than Steph.
You're really
Steph is a
using-
better player.
Using the games played, really?
They have been quite near at the same seeding, and you can argue SGA has had just as good of a better season than Steph.
So what's the over? The seeding?
How they've been playing
Because
individually.
they've both been playing at an elite level, pretty much on the same level.
And Steph's efficiency, both from the field and 3-point,
yeah,
is ridiculous.
they have been playing at the same level.
So I'm asking,
and,
what's the over?
And SGA's been played more games.
So that's why I asked.
Yes,
you said no.
that is
more
the
games.
over. He's played about 10 more games. That matters a lot. He's been the most consistent guy for the Thunder, carrying a squad.
He's going
Now,
to make the All-Star game, though.
No, he is.
Uh-huh.
But I think if we're taking into account performance, we're taking into account durability and even seeding, because all of that is in the same. You have SGA and Steph performance-wise has been the same. You have them seeding-wise, it has been the same all year. And then durability, it goes to SGA. So what is that in UFC? When you win when you win one round and the other two are tied, you want a match. That's why I got SGA.
Should LeBron not have been the West captain?
He should have. He's been durable. He's played 39 games this year.
But they're the
That's
12
like
seed.
34.
Yeah. Well, West captain, no. Nikola Jokic has been the West captain this year.
Who's been better this year?
Jokic and Luka have both been better than
LeBron.
this
Really?
year. Yes, they
Interesting.
have. Yes, they
Interesting.
What the
have.
hell are you doing?
No, it's interesting. No, it's interesting
okay.
because this team is absolutely trash when LeBron's not on the court, and the fact
So
that
is
he's
the
been able to
Dallas
keep.
Mavericks. They are complete dog shit.
Not gonna say wrong.
When he's out.
Not gonna say wrong at all.
I mean, if you said games play, I can respect that.
And I want to give some love to DeMontis Sabonis.
But you should.
Because even you might say not individually, yeah, has not been playing better than AD individually, but he's been the offensive engine for the Kings, the first ranked offense in the league, first in offensive rating, first in points per game, 18 points per game, 12 rebounds, 7 assists as a center, shooting 60% from the field, 37% from three,
Amazing.
45 games, third seed Kings. He deserves some respect.
I agree.
He deserves some respect.
Man, this three-game skid by the Celtics got the Kings in first in offense.
Yeah,
Okay,
it does.
calm. Okay.
So the starters,
for
in
you,
my
bro.
opinion,
Sounds like
should have
Zion
been.
shouldn't be on the team.
Yeah, the starters, in my opinion, I would have put SGA, Luka, LeBron, Sabonis, and Jokic.
Yeah.
That's my 5.
For sure, but you also like so much about it is fan vote and media. They're gonna be going with Zion over Sabonis. They're just gonna want to see Zion in the game. Like so much of it, like we could have these debates going back and forth, but at the end of the day, the more popular player is gonna end up, starting.
They're calling us. They're saying we're grounded for taking Steph Curry in the All-Star game over SGA.
Okay.
Right? No, not the guy that we just had a conversation in the last podcast being one of the faces of the NBA, the MVP over the last decade. He's not going to get voted in to be an All-Star starter. Is that really what we're going to do?
Game over.
No.
People crazy, man.
Like Kevin Durant missed games. Is he not supposed to be a starter?
I mean, if the All-Star game is about fun and excitement, how would you not have Steph?
We're talking
for
about
sure.
the All-Star game MVP last year.
I mean, if SGA would have been a starter, I wouldn't have been too mad.
There is an
Over Curry,
argument
you
for
wouldn't have been
Embiid.
mad?
Your captain.
Over Luka, I would have been fine.
That might
I
never
think-
happen.
Yeah.
I think there is an argument for Embiid over KD if you want to make it in the East.
Yeah.
For him to be starting over him because of the games.
Everybody's
Alright.
been playing. Everybody's been
Alright.
playing at an elite level,
Very
man.
high level.
I like the consistency.
All the
They
starters
all
Appreciate
have been
that.
playing at an
Appreciate
insane
that.
level.
All right.
But if
I
they
got to give
just-
my props, though.
What you mean?
And Edwards should be an all-star, too. Y'all see how I've been playing recently.
I thought you were going to say
Reserve.
starter. I was going
I
to
know.
throw
Reserve.
things at the
Reserve.
wall.
He
Yeah.
will be eventually.
Reserve.
Don't
Got
sleep.
Eventually, it's fine.
No, in
Don't
2030
sleep.
for sure.
Don't sleep.
Christ.
All right, you want to keep sleeping. Keep
What?
underrated.
I'm
Edwards.
not.
He won't be a starter next year. I firmly believe that.
Bro, there's a lot of
You
great
said
players.
Zach
in the
LaVine
West.
was better.
I mean, if Steph and
Think
Luka
so.
get
I still
hurt,
don't
you
feel
put
that crazy.
SGA and you put Ja in first. You don't even put Ant Edwards in first.
Nah,
Yo, who's better, Riv?
you still got
And
Dame.
Edwards or Zach LaVine right now?
Ant Edwards.
I just want to know.
Ant Edwards.
Zach's too
You're a funny guy.
inconsistent this year, man. It's pissing me off.
So I want to look at these super chats because a lot of them came in.
Oh, they're bossing.
Yes, a lot of them came in. So I'm not going to do the clap for each one just so I can read them.
No, bro. The clap's essential. You donate, you sign up for a clap. Make it clap, boy.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That was
Oh my
Wow, wow,
goodness.
wow.
Do you guys agree with that statement?
Make a
'Cause
clap.
we can
make
we
it
can
clap.
all vote.
Wow, wow.
I agree with that part.
So Ali donated $9.99.
Ali.
I know it's a B-ball pod, but what GM is the Sam Presti of the NFL? Or who is the best GM in the current NFL?
Howie Roseman.
Howie
Howie
Roseman.
Roseman.
He won executive
Eagles
of the year.
GM, right?
Eagles, yeah.
Yep.
God damn.
Yeah, no
wins
doubt. I
another
think
one.
he's one of them. This is from Senpai NFT donated $9.99. KD6 here. What's y'all boys' biggest hot take for the rest of the season? Only one each. Mr. Flip aside, he put. So he's probably talking about you.
He's talking about you without a doubt.
Think so?
There's no doubt in my
Lakers, top 4 seed. Lock it.
mind. Celtics championship.
It's not a hot take.
Is that not a hot take?
It's not a hot take.
It's the only take I cut.
Damn. I'll take, guess, Cavs to the ECF. We'll just throw a
Nah,
hot
you got to say Cavs to the finals.
take. Okay, Cavs
That's
to
more
the
hot.
finals.
There it is.
I think ECF is
That
still,
is a
that's
hot take, too, though.
ECF, you think?
It's a very hot take.
Very hot.
Yes.
Interesting. I feel like people are.
Especially with the way
Riv had him going to the ECF.
There's 4 teams that no, he did not. There's 4 teams
Riv,
that he's better.
you're telling me we're going to have conversation that you say that you can see them make it to the ECF? Don't lie to me.
Did I not explain how they can get to the ECF?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so it was
did.
very,
A lot of
very
shit would've had to
specific.
go-
Yeah,
yeah, had to
very
go their way.
specific. Please don't say that shit like that out loud. You're gonna expose me. Don't be doing
You said
that.
it on the pod.
I
Yeah,
got
but I
Joel
broke
Embiid
it
winning-
down. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I got Joel Embiid winning MVP.
Okay.
I like that.
This whole flip on Embiid is funny.
What do you mean?
insane,
I've been an
insane.
Embiid fan.
You been, but you ain't say shit for like
No, what happened?
2-3
Because
months,
I
bro.
remember when we did this segment
You had
last
Joker.
year. Exactly.
Just like last month, you was like Joker.
Joker is better.
No, you said you said the Joker's the MVP, unquestioned. Like you
At
said
the
that.
time,
That was like
yes.
2 weeks ago.
Embiid has rose up to the second seed in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The way you
He's
said
leading
it was
the score.
the way you
I'm
said
sorry
it.
for
The way
having
you said
What are
it
you
was
talking
just
about?
like you said it like it was some shit like the Joker's the MVP. It's no doubt in my mind. He's pretty much
At
the
the
one
time,
award.
he was
That
playing at
2
that
weeks
level.
ago.
No, it was
He doesn't
not.
chart
It's been a
like-
while.
Has the Joker
It's been a while.
stopped playing like that?
Jokic, man. He's MVP.
There have been players catching up to him, bro.
But has he stopped playing the way
He
was
didn't
playing?
stop playing how he
So
was
what are we
playing,
doing?
but Joel Embiid was playing how he was playing, and he wasn't winning. But now the Sixers are winning.
Every
and now they're
month
up in
you
the
can't
standings.
because you
What
were
are
saying
talking about?
KD was an MVP also.
He
Every
is
month
an MVP
you can't
candidate.
come in
They
here.
were all MVP
you
candidates.
can't come here
They're
every
all
month
MVP candidates.
and start with
Hold
your
up.
monologue like
Tatum hasn't.
he's
been
the
there.
MVP, man. It's unquestioned.
Wait,
It's a new person every month.
Wait, what do you mean? I just said my hot take was Joel Embiid MVP. I didn't say he was my MVP.
I understand, but
that's a hot,
damn,
that
like
was,
you-
what do you mean? Damn, that's my hot
It's
take.
gonna be like the
What are you talking
NFL
about?
when all his favorites are the best guys in the
You act
league.
like that's my take. Like
gross.
You act like I came into this and I said, "Yo, this is my take for the rest of the season." He said,
Well, you
"What's
did
your?"
say Philly
he
going-
said,
what-
"What's your hot take for the rest of the season?" That's what he said, and I
it's
answered,
Embiid.
"That'll be my hot take."
So now you
Embiid
locked in.
MVP.
You locked
What
in
do
on
you
Embiid,
mean?
right?
What do you mean? I'm locked in on James Harden. James Harden's my
Oh,
guy. He will
right.
always be my guy. And if Joel
was
Embiid
quiet
is
about Philly.
if Embiid
You've
is
been
his
quiet about
teammate,
He's been
Philly.
quiet. He's been
Yes,
quiet.
no doubt.
quiet.
You
But
been,
then-
and then you jumped on the Nets bandwagon.
What do you mean? I've been on the Nets all year.
Like,
bro.
you
Let's
still
not-
got all the
let's
top
not-
teams,
You were
bro.
on off back
I've been
on.
on. What do you mean?
You were on
What do you
off
mean?
back on.
I've
Come
been on
on,
this
you know.
all
it.
And now
year.
you back on Minnesota.
After they fired Steve Nash? Yeah.
I know.
With Steve Nash, I was done. Yes,
Yeah,
it's Steve
and now
Nash.
you're back
He
in.
made everybody done. But when we talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, I tweeted this back in December. I said
Of
with
course you
DeAnthony,
tweeted it.
I got to tweet about everyone.
With
gotta tweet about
DeAnthony
every
Melton,
player.
they have been
Bro's got a
amazing.
D'Anthony Melton tweet.
I was the first person to say Tyrese Maxey should come off the bench, and that's been a correct take 100% because I don't miss. That was one of my
don't
best
what?
takes this season.
You don't
I haven't
miss?
been out on Philly.
Okay.
I would never be out on James Harden. Let's respect my
Timberwolves,
boundaries.
Don't miss on that.
They can still be the first seed. Why can't they?
Okay.
Because they're mid.
Cat's
They're gonna
coming
post-
back.
they're gonna do
Anthony
Boston-like
Edwards.
thing.
Anthony Edwards is
Everyone's
playing a high
doing
level.
Boston-like
Come on,
thing.
let's stop playing. Anthony Edwards, don't disrespect him.
No, he's,
Don't
he's a
be
good
like
player.
Drew.
That doesn't
So
mean he's gonna be a
Don't
one
be
seed.
like Drew.
Why am I
Drew
the
is
fake?
crazy.
You
Right,
are
like,
the
what
Anthony
the
Edwards
fuck?
hater.
How?
You've been labeled it by
He's
him.
an Edwards.
This is one time I'm not a hater of somebody. I love it.
Yo, Riv, am I Edwards hater?
You're definitely a LaMelo stan, so by
do.
default, you
I
must
hate
be.
that. I hate that opinion though.
You called him overrated.
I did not say that. No, it's a simple lie.
What you
You
did?
said the fan base.
Fan
the
base.
No, I said a
was-
very underrated, annoying fan base. And to say this on the pod, I'm gonna get even more hate than I already got for it. Is Anthony Edwards fans? But
Well, yeah.
I did have conversation with some Minnesota fans.
You're not big on it,
and they
Edwards.
no, that's not true.
You like LaMelo over him.
I do.
That's crazy, bro.
No, it's not.
Right now, Anthony Edwards clears him. He's cleared him last year. In the playoffs, he showed out. LaMelo couldn't even do shit
Yeah, he
in
lost
the
in the first
playing.
round. Good
Let's
for him.
stop playing in the playing. LaMelo's been asked 2 years in the playing.
Some
So
Hornets.
to continue,
Anthony
what I was
Edwards
saying,
was the
I
youngest
spoke
player
to-
ever to average 25 points per game in the playoffs.
I spoke to
Really?
some.
Yes.
I spoke to some Minnesota fans, and they explained to me very, very, very plainly. We don't have much. Anthony Edwards is our guy.
I seen
That's why we're gonna be so high on him. I was like, you know what? I can't hate on that, and I had to apologize to them.
I understand. It was the same way with
not gonna delete
the
the
Lakers
tweet,
and
though.
THT at the time. I understand.
I just said THT should get more play time. His per 36 was crazy. It
Yo,
was. It was. His per 36 was insane.
Now this from Aramis Jones. You donated $49.99.
Damn,
Go.
very nice.
Jason Tatum is not the best two-way player today. Stop.
Oh.
He donated $50 to say this to you. Drew.
So he donated $50 to not even give me his best two-way player.
Deadass. Let's hear it.
He just
Drop it,
knows
drop
that
it
it's
in
not
the
that. It's not
comments.
Tatum. It's
So
not
he's taking
Tatum.
the field. Lame. Thanks for the donation, though, bro. I appreciate it, King.
This from Ali. He donated $99.99 to $100.
Ali.
New merch drop when?
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Listen,
We have
are we
merch
gonna
out
keep?
though.
Are we gonna keep? We do have merch out, of
So
course.
if you guys go to PickSidePockets.com, you can buy hoodies and shirts from us.
Our merch guy's been having conversations with me about what we're gonna do next. I guess we'll
Yeah.
talk off the pod.
We got to do something next. We got to have a merch drop for sure.
We do. It's been a minute.
We do. This from Paul Murray, the guy who gave us the
Goat.
cake.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
$20 donation. Yo, I'm just making it online. Hope y'all enjoyed the king cake, fellas.
Cake was
We
tough.
did, bro.
It
Thank you
was
so
amazing.
much. Santos Lopez, $5. Jean's voice is sexy as fuck.
That is a fact. Anything to say about that, John?
I appreciate it, Santos.
Ali donated $100 again.
Ali.
When we gonna get a pick a side vlog?
We've been talking about that.
We got to go to a game so we can vlog again.
Yeah,
We do got
off
to
the
go to
pod?
game. Off the pod.
off the pod vlog. Yeah, sure.
We're by 12.
Who? The Bulls?
I thought you were talking about the Clippers, bro.
Such
No,
a
we're
good-
tied.
Oh, we're tied.
What about the Warriors?
We don't play tonight.
Okay.
This is from
We.
Aramis
The Pistons play
Jones.
tonight, though. We're up 4.
Donated $50. Zion didn't deserve it over Sabonis, especially in games played, but watching Zion in the All-Star game will be more fun than Sabonis.
Well,
Facts.
is Zion
That's
going to
reasonable.
play?
I don't know.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
he might not play.
No.
Maybe Sabonis does again. And
Maybe as a starter. Maybe. No, I think it'll
It's
be
gonna
like
be
AD. It'll be AD.
that's crazy.
Orlando Martinez, $5 donation. You know what
There
time
you
it
go.
is.
There
Shout
you
out
go.
Kenny Pickett.
Shout out. I heard the Steelers interested in Jalen Ramsey. That'd be something.
Next donation. This is from Pedro Infante, $5. Lake Show, baby. And can we get a Who Day chant for the Bengals game tomorrow?
Lake Show. Hey, I'm not the Who Day guy.
I got the Chiefs.
I will
not.
say I am, I guess,
But I'm a
the
Bengals
biggest
fan, too.
Bengals fan this
Who
weekend
they
for
say
sure.
gonna beat the
the
Bengals?
Bengals.
Who Day?
No, for sure. I
Oh, we
just say
us three
'cause-
do, yeah.
yeah, no. I
don't give
can't
a
see
fuck who
Kansas City
wins,
win.
though.
No way, no how.
I just want. I care about one team only.
The
Couple ball
49ers?
knowers. No.
So
okay.
The ride is almost over, baby.
Sir.
Orlando Martinez,
almost
$5
over.
donation. Shout out
There
Drew
you go.
showing love to our Lakers.
Big O gets him, man. Big O is one of the realest ones when it comes to that. Like every Laker game, he'll.
I love all you men.
Type shit.
This is from Burner Hoops, $5. BI versus Kuz generational matchup tonight, River.
I'm screaming.
River was crazy.
When people say river, it's so,
So
funny.
crazy.
So Jordan Daves donated $5.
JD.
So AD doesn't deserve to start over Zion because he hasn't played enough games. Yet Zion has played 29 to AD's 27. These are irresponsible
Irresponsible
takes, bro.
takes.
Irresponsible.
I explained it.
takes.
Pelicans were the first seed, and the Lakers were not in the play-in. That's all that needs to be said.
Even
So
though
now
we're
when
a
it
game
matters-
out of the play-in.
You pick and choose. It's just Tatum winning does not matter. Every other player in the league winning matters. It's kind of disgusting.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Preach. Talk.
You
your
bring
shit,
up
Dale.
winning
You're gonna-
about every
Oh,
single
you're gonna-
player.
He's gonna make me cook
You're
right now. I'm sorry.
What do you mean winning on
I'm gonna
every
cook.
You're
player?
fine.
I'm gonna cook.
All right,
Dales
let's hear
right
it.
now.
Let's go.
Okay, Dales, I'm just gonna give you some questions, right? So you're saying I'm had this bias over Tatum because he's winning, yet I don't favor him in matchups, right? What's the difference between Tatum's winning and Embiid's winning?
Tatum, are you saying Tatum has a better team?
No. What's the record discrepancy?
Oh, it's 2 games, 1 game.
Okay, what first seed, second seed? What's the difference between Tatum's winning and Giannis's winning with the Bucks?
In terms of record-wise?
Yes,
A
like
couple
how
of
far?
games.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 seed. What was the difference between Tatum's winning with the Celtics and KD when he was healthy with the Nets?
They got up to 1 game.
Okay, what's the difference between Zion winning with the Pels versus Anthony Davis with the Lakers and their record?
I mean, we're still probably
We're
only
3 games
within a few
behind them.
games.
The first seed?
We're 3
You were
games on them right now, currently.
They're
No, I'm talking
right
about
now.
at the time of the injury with Zion, when they were the first seed with Zion.
And the Lakers
What was
weren't
the
who we were.
discrepancy in
new
games? They were
team.
like 7 games
But the
back.
Celtics have been the 1
We're a new
seed the
team.
entire year.
Rick,
There's been
come on,
times
bro.
where the
Don't-
Nets were
don't-
5 games out,
don't.
1 game
That's
out. There's
so
team when
funny.
the Bucks were 3 games,
Bro,
5 games.
if-
Like
if
it's-
eight-
the Celtics have always been 1. We have never
just killing.
relinquished the number 1 seed. So you could say all these teams, they came close. No team in the East has held the 1 seed longer than the Celtics. No team has basically held the 1 seed since the first week of the season, except
Okay,
us.
you're missing my point. The reason why AD doesn't start over Zion is because he was playing great, but they were losing at a large level. They weren't 500 with AD.
I know, they
they
were
were
under 500.
18 and 21, I believe, with AD. They weren't 500 with AD.
We weren't.
If the Lakers were the 3rd seed, the 2nd seed, and Zion was the 1st seed, and we're deciding these All-Stars, I give
But
the
we're-
nod to Anthony Davis.
We're talking
he's been
about the
playing
number
better.
1 team in basketball
Yes,
all
and you're
year.
talking about the number
best
2
team
team
in
in Philly and
basketball.
Embiid. You're talking about the number 3 team in Giannis.
Yes, but the
and
Celtics
Bucks.
have been number 1 all year. There's been different teams at 2, 3, and 4 the entire
Okay,
season.
why is it?
Celtics been
Have
one
the Celtics
entire
not been
way.
the healthiest team in the East out of all these top teams? Have they
For
not
the
been?
most part,
Debatable.
yeah. For the most part,
Sixers,
we
they haven't
missed,
been healthy?
we missed Rob for the first
Joel Embiid missed games
2
at the
months
beginning
of the
of the year.
season.
How many
Smart's been
games,
out for a
bro?
while.
He's
JB
only played
missed a week or 2.
He's only played
If it's over
36 games. So he's missed. I mean, Tatum's played 47. He's missed 12 more games than Tatum, and he's got the Sixers to the 2nd seed. Harden has missed some games.
He or the team is
Tyrese
playing
Maxey.
very great.
These
Tyrese
guys
Maxey
get
missed like a
banged up,
month.
though.
Tyrese
Harden
missed a lot.
gets
You're 100%
banged
right.
up.
I
Middleton
apologize.
gets
there.
banged
What about
up.
Chris
But-
Middleton?
But
Oh, Chris
Marcus
Middleton.
Smart, Rob Will just missed how much to start the
Marcus
season?
Smart just got out.
No, for
and
sure.
they're
But Rob
they've
Will,
been
how
playing
many?
poorly without him.
Rob Will, how many games did he miss at the start of the
First
season?
month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, but
He's one of
Rob
the
Will.
best defensive players
It's
that
the
they
difference.
have.
It's the difference between losing Rob Will, who's like the 5th best player on your team, versus losing Chris Middleton, who's the 2nd best player on the Bucks. Tyrese Maxey, who's the 3rd best player on the Sixers, and Embiid was out for a while.
He's our anchor on defense.
Yes, he is, but I mean, Tatum's
He's
elite. He's the best two-way player in the
know,
league, so
but
he can carry that, right?
No, that's not what Tatum. You know that. That's not what Tatum does. Just
So
'cause
why
you're
is he the best two-way player in the league? You said he was the best two-way player in the
because
league. Why?
he could
If
be a
can't do
great.
that, why?
He could be a great two-way, the best two-way player, and not be asked to do what a center does, bro. Rob Williams does different things defensively than Tatum. You know this.
Ultimately, Riv, you understand what I'm saying. If the Lakers were a top 3 seed and AD was playing how he's playing, yes, he's over Zion, but they were the 12th seed in the West. They were under 500.
If the Celtics were like the 2 seed earlier, 3 seed, like they've been the best team all season
Other
since
teams had
the fucking
significant
jump.
injuries.
Okay, that's I don't know why that's a knock on the Celtics.
It's not a
that
knock,
sounds
but
like
it's
a
context.
them
The Lakers
problem.
was a 3rd seed and AD was playing like that. He'd fuck around and be the MVP.
That's facts.
Our team's not. It wasn't
it
that
matters.
good.
The
We're
winning
different now.
matters.
We're different now.
Embiid and Sixers,
Yeah,
they're winning.
nobody
Insane.
wins more than the Celtics.
Well, not right now. Do you guys have the active winning?
Right
do you
now?
guys
No.
have the most active wins currently?
Stop it.
No, you don't.
We just went on a
No, you don't.
9-game win
Oh,
streak.
the Sixers are on a 7-game win streak. Respect
Okay,
it. You guys on a 3-game skid.
We've been
Get
on
outta here.
multiple 9-game
outta
win
here.
streaks.
What are you talking about?
Nets just
Get
lost to
outta
the
here.
Pistons.
What are you talking about? All right,
lost to the
without
Pistons.
KD.
Respect my
Without
Pistons.
KD.
Respect my Pistons.
And look what happens with the Nets without KD.
Oh no, you were just getting crazy when they beat,
Y'all
who they
had that
beat, the
drop off when y'all
Jazz?
missed Marcus Smart. Like what?
We've lost
It's been
3
load
games,
management,
bro.
That's why he's missed games.
Jaylen Brown's missed some games over this stretch too. JB sat, fucking Smart, Rob. Like we've had injuries these last few games, and we're 9-3 in our last 12. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but ultimately, AD would be starting if the Lakers were higher. Embiid, Giannis, they're not losing. And even if you want to make that argument for Tatum, you cannot knock Embiid, Giannis, and KD because when they were healthy,
I'm not.
well, when KD was healthy, he was 2nd seed. Sixers, 2nd seed. Bucks, Middleton has been out the entire year, bro.
2nd seed is
He cannot find his rhythm
Listen,
so far.
if the Celtics weren't literally the best team and best record in the NBA,
Y'all still not going to
be
win the
like,
championship. That sucks. Y'all not
You
gonna win.
you could take all.
not gonna win.
You could take
Y'all not gonna
all
win.
of
Why'd
your
you just
teams.
do that? They're not gonna win.
Nah, it's fine.
I told him last year
Nah,
it
it's
happened.
crazy because Joel could take every team he roots for. None of them are going further than the Celtics.
Cool.
None of them are going further. You can take the Nets. You can take the Wolves. You're a Nuggets guy. You're a Sixers guy again after a 2-month hiatus. Take whoever you want. I know the Celtics are gonna go the furthest.
That's a perfect segue. Because the
My
topic
team's going
of this
furthest,
next
too.
segment is, are the 76ers dangerous? And Dehls, I think they are. And I think that team, Boston over there, the Leprechaun,
Field. That's who you're taking.
they don't want to see Philly.
Field.
Because they cannot handle Joel Embiid.
Uh-huh.
They cannot mess with Joel Embiid. You think Rob Will can guard Joel Embiid? He cannot guard Joel Embiid.
Have you seen Embiid's games versus Al Horford?
And
Al Horford is not the same.
Al Horford
Rob is
and
here,
Rob
bro.
Will.
Al Horford is still fucking.
That
nice.
is the answer
He
for Joel
cannot,
Embiid.
he cannot
He's still-
guard
he
Embiid.
is
That's
still
the answer
nice.
for Joel
He
Embiid.
cannot
Al was
guard
still
Joel
doing
Embiid.
his thing
Neither
last
can
year in the
Rob Will.
That's a
They
playoffs.
very
can't guard
tough
Embiid.
interior defense.
That is, bro.
They cannot guard Joel Embiid.
I mean,
bro.
Embiid's gonna get his 30.
And you look at the Sixers right now, 2nd seed, 32 and 16, 7-game win streak. They won 20 of their last 24. What are the Celtics in their last 24? Not this good. I'll tell you that. They're not. They're not. And guess what? The biggest reason for that is health. Joel Embiid has been healthy. He's been healthy on this stretch. But it's Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench. And I was reading an article about Maxey proposing this idea to Doc Rivers. It showcases his maturity. He's a great dude. Riv was very early on him. And since he's come off the bench, it's been 5 of the last 6 games. He's been averaging about 20 points per game. And I think this helps his game so much because he goes from being the 3rd or 4th scoring option to being the first
and
option on the
second.
bench and leading a
Love
unit.
it.
When he was starting, Harden's going to get his touches over you. Embiid's going to get his touches over you. On every other night, even Tobias Harris will get his touches over you. Now you're coming off the bench. And this reminds me of what the Heat did with Tyler Hero, what the Warriors have done with Jordan Poole. I think these players
That didn't work.
with that play type, they offer you more to your team when they're coming off the bench and being that spark plug, because now it opens up everybody's game. And you also couldn't bench DeAnthony Melton. He's been a defensive pest and he's been a defensive menace. He's been one of the better point of attack defenders in the league.
Agreed.
They have another one in Thibault, but he can't shoot, and that limits his minutes on the court. But defensively, he's very good.
Agreed.
Now, the Harden, Melton, Harris, Tucker, and Embiid lineups have been 10th in differential, and this is taking into account 150 possessions or more. They have a 126 offense rating versus a 117.5 offense rating with Maxey, and they have a 112th defense rating with Melton which would rank 12th. The Sixers, DeAnthony Melton, him starting, being 6th in total deflections. He's blowing up passing lanes. He's quick to recover on contests. He's been a huge spark for this starting lineup, and Max coming off the bench, I love it. And I think the Sixers are dangerous. Early in the season, you had Joel Embiid get injured. Harden started out great, but then kind of slowed down. Tyrese Maxey got hurt. You still have your worries about their bench and Doc Rivers, but I think Melton going to the starting lineup and Maxey going to the bench has helped that unit, and that was my biggest concern. I still have concerns about Doc Rivers, but if he's facing the Celtics in the playoffs, he wants payback. And Dehls, you should be afraid.
He's been wanting
because
payback
Joel Embiid said today on the posting after he beat Jokic, he said he's getting ready to put together a historic playoff run. He is. He's getting ready to dominate.
Well, Joel Embiid knows.
My turn.
He knows that he has to reach the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, I know. He definitely knows.
Well, you talked a lot about DeAnthony Melton, which is playing amazing. Thank you for the acknowledgement of me finding Tyrese Maxey first. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Philly's great. And I want to talk a little bit about Joel Embiid and James Harden, their duo. I mean, like, the dynamic duo is just, like, one of the most versatile duos in the NBA at the moment. I mean, you got to start with two guys who are masters at their respective crafts. Harden being a master in the playmaking area, Joel Embiid being a master at three-level scoring. You put them together in a pick and roll, and it seemingly makes everything impossible to stop. I mean, James Harden at the best, 38% from the three-point line. Joel Embiid is as efficient as he can be from mid-range, inside 3 feet, outside to the three-point line. His true shooting is, I believe, 64.4%. So he's been as efficient as he's ever been in his seat in the NBA. And then you put this together, their pick-and-roll mastery has been so amazing. I mean, this dynamic duo has been tearing the league up. And I think you have to look at it, and you have to – the thing about Philly is we always consider them dangerous because they're always one of the top teams in the league. But I think
super talented.
I think this year is a little different because they found a defensive identity within themselves. You know, I'm not even speaking about coaching, but within themselves, they found a defensive identity. They bring Maxey off the bench to bring in that score, and he's a fast and high-paced scorer.
One of the fastest guys in the league.
He can rip off 15 to 16 points quickly. He's one of the best transition players in the NBA. And then you have Harden and Embiid who just seemingly break down defenses with that pick and roll. It's almost impossible to stop unless you have the proper personnel. I do think Boston would be a tough matchup because they can switch 1 through 5 pretty much throughout most guys. I think Brooklyn would also be a strong team to possibly beat because you have Claxton who now can guard 1 through 5. You have Kevin Durant who can also do it. So you have guys out there who can give some fits. But you have to consider them dangerous. I think this is a different year. The Doc Rivers thing is always scary because he can collapse at any moment in the playoffs. And Embiid and Harden, this would probably be one of their years to really do it. I mean, they're one of the few teams that's top 8 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. So they've been amazing on both sides of the field. Dangerous is definitely the word. You know, I look at Milwaukee. I always said that was a tough team for Milwaukee because Philly's Embiid size against Giannis, that would be trouble. You know, I trust that matchup, and then he can cause Giannis to be in foul trouble. But Milwaukee's a tough team, and Nets are a tough team. But I definitely put them in that tier 1. You got to give them respect. And as long as Embiid and Harden keep playing like this, outside of Doc Rivers' blunders, I don't see why they couldn't go far in the East.
You said it. Top 5 in offense, top 7 in defense. They've been fantastic so far. 7-game heater. They have been on a roll.
7-game heater.
So I'm not reiterating a lot of the stuff you guys said. I want to highlight something really quick. You guys mentioned that your lone concern is Doc Rivers, and that's my main concern as well. Now, yes, I can sit here and say all the things you guys said. They're super talented. Joel Embiid, James Harden, one of the best duos in the league. Their chemistry is second to none. It seems like those two guys' play styles can coexist perfectly with one another. And Harden's selflessness is perfectly suited to cater to Joel Embiid, who is the offensive dominant, the definition of being the dominant center in the league, whether it's getting into the paint and scoring at will or shooting and extending beyond there. He can just simply do everything. He's leading the league in points for a reason. But Doc Rivers, come playoff time, is why using the word dangerous is tough for me. I can use dark horse. If you want to call them synonyms, I understand where you're coming from for sure. And I call them a dark horse because I simply can't rely on Doc Rivers come playoff time. It's just been a laundry list of season after season after season of getting to the playoffs and being underwhelming. Now, I understand it looks different right now. The team's healthy. They're clicking on all cylinders, both offensively and defensively. And come the stretch, something of recent that's taken over is James Harden. What had made him so fantastic is his willingness to be aggressive come crunch time. And what I saw a little bit prior to this past 7-game win streak was Harden being passive and kind of letting Joel Embiid be the crunch time guy. And understandably so, Joel Embiid is one of the best scorers in the league. But he has to remember that he is James Harden. And of recent, James Harden's definitely been more keen on being aggressive when it comes to that time. And that's really what I want to see from the Sixers, because a dominant James Harden makes the 76ers dangerous, no doubt about it. But why I can't go that far is because Doc Rivers. And that's really the only reason I can't use the word dangerous.
Question. You think he's not dominant because he's not scoring a lot?
What do you mean by that?
Like
Did I say that he's not dominant?
No, you said you want Harden to be a more dominant player.
Let me say more aggressive. I want to say more aggressive because James Harden, when he's aggressive, has shown in the past one of the best scorers we've ever seen, absolutely. I understand his game has evolved, and now he's more of a playmaker, especially playing next to a guy like Joel Embiid. But he needs to understand situations, understand mismatches, which he has recently. There was a stretch to start the season where James Harden really was just kind of letting Joel Embiid cook up. And now we're starting to see James Harden really understand, all right, I need to pick and choose when to be aggressive because I have the skill set. One of the best guys in the game for sure. I need to trust myself. And he has. And if that's the case, and these two are going to continue to play at this aggressive pace for the entirety of the season, then yes, we can talk about dangerous. Personnel is never a question with Philadelphia. It's a matter of the coaching. And that's my big issue.
Personnel is an issue to some degree.
Right now, what can you really say? They're top 5 in offense. They're top 7 in defense.
They don't have a backup center.
I was just about to say, Montrezl stinks, man.
Fair enough. But they're going to make a move, and that's...
A lot of teams need front court help.
I still think another wing that can space the floor a little bit better would be cool, too. You know?
Okay.
I like PJ and Tybalt are cool, but...
Georgie's it has been very solid for them in terms of just extending the floor. Obviously, Tobias Harris... Matisse Thybulle, if he could learn how to do something offensively. Yeah, but Shake and DeAndre Melton, they have been great.
They have been. And I don't want to make this a Sixers versus Celtics one just because you just came at me with the Sixers want to see the Celtics. Wow.
They got the coach that last won a championship for you.
Yeah, last 2 times the Celtics and Sixers played. Do you remember what happened?
Refresh my memory.
2018, Celtics won in 5. 2020, Celtics won in 4.
Oh, 3 years ago.
Basically same core for the Celtics for the most part. You know, some guys go, some guys stay.
Was James Harden on the team?
No, he wasn't, but Embiid was.
Who was on the team? Who was on the team?
Hasn't been able to get past.
You mean a year
Embiid.
Ben Simmons was hurt for the entire series?
It doesn't matter. They're not beating us. But anyhow, let's talk about the Sixers because I do want to give them credit. I do. I mean, a 7-game winning streak, and I feel a lot of this has been through adversity, right? They went 5 games on the road on the West Coast, won all of those games. I believe the last game was against the Kings. They were without Harden and Embiid. They won that game by a couple points. They come back home. The Nets are off back-to-back big wins, right? They're struggling a little bit. The Nets off back-to-back big wins. They come into 76ers, a back-and-forth game, and the Nets were shooting at just a ridiculous rate that game. They shot 64% from the field, 54% from 3, and the Sixers still won because they made 35 of 36 free throws. So it was kind of a weird game where there was outliers on both sides. But like I said, it just feels like this win streak has definitely been positive for them in the fact that when shit hasn't gone their way, they've still been able to overcome that. The big 3 in that game against the Nets scored 76 points, that big 3 being Maxey, Harden, and Embiid. And as you guys mentioned, I mean, one of the biggest changes has been Maxey moving to the bench, right? Coming into the year, we were kind of expecting him to take that lead, be that next breakout player. And while he's obviously having a great season, I think being mature enough, like you mentioned, Joel, to say, I could go to the bench, let's bring someone else in the starting lineup because I want to help the team win, shows a lot about just his character and what he thinks about this team and really what the ceiling is for the 76ers team. I mean, Melton comes in, he's the better defender. You have Maxey off the bench who could kind of spark the offense and run the offense better than him. But just to talk about the Sixers as a whole, I mean, they're a good team, without a doubt. I had them as a top 3 seed coming into the season. I thought, they're going to win a playoff series. They're going to compete in the second round and maybe get to the ECF. But you do look at those role players who have stepped up this year. We knew Maxey was going to take that leap, but Georges Niang, as Drew mentioned, you have Melton, you have guys, Tobias Harris, who we shit on a lot. He's taken his attempts down. His efficiency has been better. I feel like he's starting to find a better role now. Now that Maxey's got on, he's taken a bit more of a backseat. I think he's averaging 3 or 4 less shots per game. His efficiency is better than last season too. So when you have an MVP caliber and Joel Embiid, you have one of the best playmakers in James Harden. The pick and roll game is as lethal as it gets in the NBA. They're going to be a tough team for any playoff matchup. But when I do look in the East, as Riv mentioned, it's just some tough matchups. I mean, they haven't proven they could get out of the second round. They haven't proven, when I say them, at least Embiid and Doc, to be able to get past the Celtics, who you're going to run into if you want to get to the finals. So this win streak is great. They've had some really impressive wins, but I'm not ready to say they should be the favorites to come out of the East, or even I would pick them over the Celtics in a playoff series.
Harden, on catch and shoot threes, which make up 20% of his looks, shoots 43.5.
He's been crazy.
Joel Embiid, last 10 games against the Celtics in his career, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists.
What's the splits?
47% from the field.
Can you give me the wins and losses?
27% from the three, and 82% from the free throw line.
Damn.
47% for a big is an ideal.
I mean, but he's not the ideal big, though.
Yeah, that's true. What's he shoot right now? 64? True shooting?
Can you give me the wins and losses?
Oh, I got you.
Oh, thank you. I'm curious.
Oh, you're just chopping at the bits for that, huh? I'm looking at it.
Okay. I'm going to pull up StatMuse.
5-5.
Okay. Respectable. I was expecting 3 and 7. I mean,
yeah, because you're a hater. You're a Joel Embiid and Harden hater.
Yeah.
That's what you
I
are.
like the Celtics. I'm honest.
He's honest.
I am.
So be honest about
sorry,
Embiid.
I said I don't like the Sixers.
I
Yeah.
knew what you meant.
Love the Celtics. All my heart.
Stop seeing it on Embiid. You don't want to see him come playoff time, especially.
I said he should start in the All-Star game over Giannis.
All right, who's more dangerous, the Nets or the Sixers?
Oh, he can't choose.
Nets.
It's teams.
Nets.
I agree.
Nets.
Good shit. We're sticking with that?
Of course I'm sticking
Okay,
with it.
cool.
But like I said,
I don't want like Cam
No,
Thomas
no.
to go off for 30 and all of a sudden then, you know what I mean? Like,
the East, Nets and Sixers. It's my teams, baby. And the Knicks.
The best teams. Interesting.
Watch out. If we get OG Anunoby, you don't want to see us.
you're going to go 3 first?
You don't. Why not? We could
What?
give up RJ Barrett. Why not?
Oh, my God. 3 first for OG?
I don't even. You know what? I don't even think if we told the Raptors we'll trade you RJ for OG, they'd accept it.
You would go give up 3 first for RJ? I mean, OJ? OG?
Oh, there it is.
We have 5 first in the next 2 drafts.
So you wouldn't give 3
Three's a lot.
It's
So
expensive
3's a lot for
OG.
DeJounte, but it's not a lot for OG?
It was 3 in a pick swap, so it was like 4 first for DeJounte.
I don't want to hear the
It's a lot for both. I wouldn't give up 3 first for OG. I wouldn't.
You just said you would.
You just said you would.
When I said RJ,
No, I asked OG. You said yeah.
that'd probably be the trade. Would I hate it? I wouldn't
should.
hate it.
I mean,
would I be like, that's a bit too much?
I think
Yeah,
so.
but if we get OG, we're trying to compete now, so it's
I
understandable.
don't know. OG's a weird player for me. He's definitely an elite defender, but I don't know if I would give up 3 first for somebody who doesn't wreck a game.
Do you think that the Knicks fans should just give up on RJ?
He's been playing fine.
He has been playing fine.
What do you
And he's
mean
been
by give up?
clutch.
You mean give up like being the face of the
He was
franchise?
I
clutch.
think
Yes,
Brunson's.
like
I
give
think
up
Brunson is-
No,
on
I
RJ
think
being the
face of the-
star.
face
I
of the
think
franchise
Brunson is
is-
comfortably the star. I
Yeah.
think Knicks fans have embraced that Brunson.
It's
No,
Randall
no,
one
no,
and
Randall.
Brunson two.
No, Randall too. I'm sorry, but I think Knicks fans
But
are
both
pretty.
of them over
They're
RJ.
fine in RJ's role at the moment. I mean,
No, I think people still want RJ to, or they think he's going to eventually break.
Oh, you
out.
can think
drafted
that,
him
but
that,
understand
draft
that
him
he's
3
fine
overall.
where he's at right
Still
now. I
averaging
mean, and if
20.
you don't have a better offer, keep him.
Respect him.
All I'm saying is
Respect
that
him.
He's a what?
because I got into this
Like
little. I was talking to somebody on
don't
Twitter
know.
about it, and they were like, RJ doesn't have the opportunities. His
I wonder
rookie
why.
year, he had the ball in his hands, but his second year, Randall hijacked the offense, and how he was in a
Saying
different
RJ
situation. How John Moran and Zion were drafted in situations that built around them, but you have to be good enough to build around, and RJ has not shown himself to be good enough to build around. He's inefficient.
And with all due respect, Randall's all NBA season, you're mad he's taking the ball out of RJ's hands? No,
Yeah.
you want Randall to have the ball.
Derrick Rose got traded to the Knicks midseason and was a better shot creator and offensive player than RJ.
Hurts.
So with that's what I'm saying. Do you even think that the Raptors take RJ straight up for OG?
Straight up? No.
If RJ's the star,
It's gotta be
J,
picks though.
why not?
Can't be straight up.
It kind of
if it
defeats
was-
the purpose
yeah.
because they want to start losing then. You know?
If RJ star J, why not though?
RJ in a first,
Do you think RJ star J?
I'll always think that. Out of
Always
respect
think
for him.
Star J.
Star J. It's one of the coolest nicknames.
I'm just saying,
game.
if you're a young player, and a team is not willing to give you OG and Anobi for that young player, you don't have enormous star potential. You don't.
How old is OG?
24, 25.
25.
Okay.
It's a couple of years. RJ's 21,
I
2.
was gonna say he's still
22.
young. Yeah,
he
he's
might
still
turn
young.
23 soon. All I'm saying, there's other 22-year-olds that, if they offered that player the team for OG, they're chopping at the bits to trade to get him out of their hands. That's what I'm just saying is like, I feel like there's a lot of optimism still for RJ when I think it's clear at least what he's gonna be.
And that is
just a regular player, man. It's not good, not great. It's good. It's just that's it. I don't think he's a star.
this is where the New York Knicks fan and me just can't let this sit right with my spirit, man.
That doesn't matter. I'm right. I'm gonna be right.
Is he a bust?
He's not a bust.
He's not a
Disappointment.
bust, but
Disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use that word very strongly.
You do.
You're right.
Bust is. I'm not going to say who.
Oh my god.
I do use it very strongly.
Will RJ ever be as impactful to a winning team as Harrison Barnes?
I knew you were gonna say that. What I mean,
I
was
think he could.
Harrison
His-
Barnes
I'll be fair,
impactful to
Harrison
a
got
winning
lucky.
team?
Wait, you talking about the first stint or now?
He's talking about now.
I'm talking about the words because you got to count the words.
Oh, that's not
That's
fair.
why if
He got
RJ
lucky
gets
as
in the
shit.
perfect scenario,
He
he
did
can
get
contribute
lucky
to
as
winning.
Lucky as
Yeah.
shit, man.
But I don't
like
think
Wiggins.
I don't
Wiggins
think you're
same
happy
way.
if RJ is replacing Harrison Barnes.
Well, I
on
mean,
those
they'll both
teams.
brick the same amount of shots in the finals. Because remember, Harrison Barnes bricked fucking everything.
Thank God.
But you probably would like RJ Harrison more. He's more respectable of a shooter. Provides
RJ,
better-
Warriors
RJ's still
said-
super young.
Take
it was Kevin Durant.
Keep it sleazy, bro.
Didn't say, you give him a little video when he comes back to Golden State. It's Kevin Durant, bro. You got to bounce. We need more rings.
There was a time that I thought RJ was going to be a great player, but I think
remember.
4 years in, I mean, the writing's on the wall. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to just look at you got to smell the
facts.
flowers.
You weren't saying that about Geno Smith.
What do you mean? I was saying about Geno Smith.
I mean, how many years in until Geno Smith finally popped off, right?
Yeah, I didn't think Geno was going to do that, though.
So why can't you believe that in Star J?
This is the NBA and NFL are a lot different.
You're right.
It's very
I mean,
rare
it's-
if you pop off at 31
I mean,
in the NBA.
Killian Hayes suddenly is
31.
decent.
Killian
Geno's
Hayes
like
is
30,
one of the
bro.
least efficient players
No,
in the league.
I'm obviously joking when it comes about Geno. I'm just saying we've seen anomalies.
So that's an 8-9
We've seen
year
anomalies.
gap, though.
Killian
Definitely
Hayes is not
anomaly.
good, but he's gotten better.
A better example of the anomaly was Julius Randle.
Or Laurie this year.
Nah, Laurie had years where he was okay.
But this year,
Julius, when he had the opportunities on the Pelicans, he showed that what he can do.
Not all NBA, though.
I mean, he took it to a whole nother level.
He
in
won
New York.
most improved player for a reason.
Rightfully, so. He was amazing.
Yeah, but his first year in New York, it was horrible.
But
Takes some
his
time to
first,
adjust.
and it's New York, different vibe.
All I'm saying
but
is
that year in New Orleans was very impressive.
Julius Randle taking the leap he took was very surprising. Like, if RJ ever
for
takes
def.
that type of leap, we're going to be very surprised. I don't think anybody's expecting that.
I mean,
He
he's already
should've.
averaging 20. Like,
What?
he's already averaging 20. Respect.
The most inefficient 20 in the league.
What is his splits right now, if you could tell me?
It's not very good.
Cool.
I'll tell you. RJ.
RJ.
Barrett. He's shooting 43% from the field and 34% from three.
Not great.
not great, is right.
Not great.
Good way
For
to
a
put
third
it.
option.
Hey, you guys are
Shooting
what?
75% from the line.
You guys are the 5th seed right now?
7th.
Oh, 7th? They dropped because of this loss today?
Now they were
Damn.
7th coming
His
into
PER
this.
Oh, wow.
is 13.5. That's a horrible PR for a player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so great they use PER now.
Next
Ben
up,
Simmons. What other players have fallen off as hard as Ben Simmons?
You dropped like 3 videos about this, so I was trying to not
3
say
videos?
No, I'm exaggerating. You tweeted about it. You made a TikTok.
Facts.
And it's like I'm trying
Content
to find my
creator.
own. No, hey, no, absolutely respect. But I'm trying as a content creator myself. I had to come up with a different answer. So the only other answer I could come up with was Andrew Bynum.
That's mine too.
Andrew Bynum was the one guy that he made an All-NBA team, and then the year after that, yes, he did happen to have a bad knee injury, and he had that knee injury basically since he was drafted. That was always a concern. And then the year after to play less than 30 games, and then to be basically out of the league the year after that.
Yeah.
It's really one of the more unfortunate fall-offs.
Another big man that came to mind, I don't know if you said this, was DeMarcus Cousins. He was another one where he was obviously pre-ACL injury. I mean, there was the rumors of, do you trade Jaylen Brown or Tatum, go get DeMarcus Cousins, but obviously before his ACL tear, he was, best center in the league.
Boogie was crazy.
OD.
Boogie
Then
was
Boogie
good.
was special.
He tears his ACL, he's out a year, he comes back, he,
It's-
averages 8-9 a game.
and the
Nah,
last
Achilles.
Achilles
Facts.
was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to say before you guys go is it's really hard to find a fall off similar to Ben Simmons without injury.
Yeah.
It's like you said the one you're going to mention, Roy Hibbert. That's really the only one that really comes to mind. But in terms of straight up, just
Andre Drummond.
Okay. All right, but his play style definitely was tough to fit in this NBA.
I feel like
One guy-
he's
Similar with
the,
Hibbert.
the wrong time.
I picked Michael Rat. He was like a 20-point per game scorer. He was he was 29 years old, played 30 games, and he just off the league, out the league. Well, on a few teams, then out the league.
Yeah.
Michael Rat was a dog, so I picked him for one. I had a couple role players like Tristan Thompson. A lot of guys were just the NBA went
That was
past
LeBron.
them.
And that was
got
LeBron.
paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jahlil Okafor had his little rookie year, and then Michael Carter Williams, another one, Tyreek Evans. Not like stars. But
MCW?
yes,
Yeah, that's another one.
I said it.
Oh,
said
I didn't hear you
MCW.
say MCW. I apologize.
Yeah, so a lot
use
of
my ears.
good players, but not like stars because it's hard for stars.
That's it.
Just
Players that I think fell off. Darren Williams has to be at the top of the list for me.
Fair enough.
His fall off was steep and it was fast.
Right here in
It was,
front of
yeah. I
us.
have
No,
We're
his face is
disrespecting him just
crossed
right in-
off.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize
Yeah,
that.
bro, it's
Why'd
insane.
you X out his face?
I've been in Nets day one. That was the last game they were at Prudential. Day one.
Why'd you
Day
cross
one
off
Nets.
his face?
Izod or Prudential?
Prudential.
Interesting.
Because they moved to Brooklyn after that.
I thought they were in Izod.
They were, but
They
then
were
they
for
moved
a
to
while.
Prudential.
Then Prudential.
I thought it was when they won 12 games, lost 70.
They changed the scenery.
It was like 8 people in that building.
Another one, Danny Granger has to be another
That one was disappointing
Injuries,
too.
man.
Do you
Injuries.
think?
always
Do you
the
think
case.
that if the Pacers faced the Heat in 2012, 2013 with Danny Granger healthy, they would have beaten him?
Strong chance.
But would Paul George have had the same breakout? I don't think so.
Paul
would
George's
Tatum
breakout wasn't that crazy when you look back at it.
I understand what you're
Like
saying.
his stats weren't like 29. They were like 22 a
like-
game, 21 a game.
The
His
best way I
points were
c-
just loud as fuck.
the
Yeah.
best way I could defend that is when Tatum's rookie season. When Tatum had that blow up in the postseason against LeBron, if Kyrie had played, you look at the year next and Kyrie's back and Tatum's numbers were less from his
Good
rookie
point.
season. It's like I don't know if we would see Paul George really blossom the same way, but of course you wouldn't want it to be at the expense of not having Danny Granger anymore, and that's really what happened.
Danny Granger healthy was a better player than Paul George at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Shit, even the year before. I mean, if they got the same Paul George, would they beat the Heat?
All interesting questions.
Ty Lawson was the other name that came up.
Yeah, he
No.
was.
Fair that
Nah.
Ty Lawson was nice
was.
on the Nuggets.
He
He
was
was
You know, who,
nice.
He
you know
got
who's a
traded to
name that
Houston.
I'm gonna bring up
Never the
that
same.
it's not like it's a big time name.
God.
Terrence Jones
I remember him.
from Kentucky.
All the Kentucky dudes. Brandon Jennings.
Brandon Jennings
Jennings
was solid
was-
for a
was in
long
Kentucky.
time, though.
Was it the
No, I
broken
was just
ankle
saying
that did it?
Brandon Jennings in general. Brandon Knight also.
Brandon Knight, that's something.
I mean, he was never great.
Nah, Brandon
was good.
Brandon Knight was good.
He was a good player.
He just has a lot of low lights.
Yeah, I mean, the
But he
lowest.
wasn't bad.
Maybe I'm allowing those lowlights to
One
cloud
year
my
he was
judgment.
25-4.
What?
Shooting
Oh, you
41
said 25 and 4.
Yeah, yeah.
I almost lost my mind.
He was a 17-point per game scorer for a little bit.
Okay.
Good player.
He was good.
When he was on Milwaukee?
That year was Phoenix. They had
Phoenix,
the three-guard lineup.
facts.
Oh, my
facts.
God, Eric Bledsoe.
But what you mentioned was a good point because I don't think any of these players had the fall off Ben had.
Brandon Knight was in the league last year.
Really?
Played 5 games for Dallas.
Fooled me.
Because I think most of these guys' fall offs came with either the league changing or significant injury, or they just stopped taking care of their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
With Ben Simmons, it's not that. He's averaging career lows in points, rebounds, and assists. He's only scored in double digits in 13 games this year.
It's ugly.
And when he's on the court and Kevin Durant is off the court,
Oh, my God. I
the
saw
Nets
this.
have the worst offensive rating in the league, the 4th worst net rating, the 20th worst defensive rating, and this is from @NetsManUp. So Ben Simmons has been a negative for them. I think his rebounding, defense, and playmaking has been really good. But when you're not aggressive at all offensively, you just become such a negative.
It's like, look at Nic Claxton. He is not the most skilled, polished offensive player, but at the minimum, he's aggressive and he puts the ball up. If you're like Nic Claxton, there is no one that's going to complain. But if you're not putting the effort, you're not putting the attempts on glass, what are you expecting? You cannot succeed. Claxton has the aggressive mindset. I've been preaching this to Ben Simmons since I came onto the show. Be aggressive. That's all you need to do. Just put you're
He airballed a
6'10".
floater.
That's what I'm saying. He simply is lost up here. His mind is beating him, and it's sad. It really does make me sad because there's times that you can just have mental lapses, and it simply changes the way that you approach the game. And it's unfortunate that we've seen it as heightened as we have with Ben Simmons.
It is.
Hate that for you, brother.
I do hate that.
It's crazy because that was my first
That was your guy.
blow up moment on Pick a Side.
Yeah, facts.
Really?
Ben
What's that?
Simmons, when we did the Would You Rather, our first official one, Ben Simmons.
You said Ben Simmons over Brandon
I
Ingram.
put no. There were so many names.
Yeah,
There
I
were
mean,
so many names.
I don't have to think about
But
it.
at the
It's like all of
time,
it.
there were some valid ones. In hindsight, though, oh my God, that is one of the worst clips you'll ever see on the internet.
Actually, I'm gonna go watch it later.
No,
That's
See what
funny.
you were talking about up there. Brandon Ingram or Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons, undoubtedly.
I took Jaylen Brown though.
I'll take the defense.
OG Anunoby.
I'm
Ben
an
Simmons.
OG, man. Come
You
on.
are.
He
You're an
probably
OG.
said, "I'll take the defense, the playmaking."
Yeah, the size.
That is what it is. He was giving you like 15 a
Athleticism.
game, and one of
That
the
shit
best defenders in the
stinks.
league too. I was like, hey, this guy's legit. They were the 1 seed, and he
He's
just
borderline a bum.
went to hell.
John,
No,
what are
no,
your
you're not
thoughts
wrong.
on Ben Simmons?
Let's hear this. I already know it's gonna
Ben
get rude.
Simmons is the worst contract in basketball, bro. I mean,
We
he can't
talked
even
about
play in the regular season. What do you think is going to happen in a 7-game series, bro? I mean, like, at least Claxton puts pressure on the rim. I feel bad because basketball is any sport is mental. I don't even know if he cares. You're working with some of the most skilled players of all time. You've had the coaches, you've had the resources, and never have you developed that skill set. And as his athletic limitations, as he's gotten worse athletically and gotten zapped in that quickness, it's unbelievable.
Spitting.
He's 26.
The downfall of Ben Simmons.
Sad to
And
see.
then I'm
What are
praying
you
for
gonna do with Ben in the
Just
fourth
know, Ben,
quarter?
you always have a fan in me. All
All
right, I don't
four
care.
quarters.
I don't care how
Fourth
shitty
quarter.
you've been playing. Just know, rain or shine.
Very interesting.
I
You
respect
don't
that
have
as
me.
a man.
What are the Nets
I do.
gonna do?
I
With
think
Ben
you're crazy,
Simmons?
but
I
they're stuck.
don't know. I think that
Katie on the
wants-
courty
they're
hoops.
stuck.
you just
With
have
Katie
to,
on the courty hoops.
You just have to hopefully pray that Jock Vaughn can bring the best out of him.
Did you
And
see
hopefully
that
this
eye
won't.
roll too when
They were yelling at him to shoot the ball.
but
Jock or something.
when Ben Simmons took himself out of the game for the knee injury and they asked Jock about that, he kind of rolled his eyes and then gave his answer about
Yeah.
Ben. Yeah, that is not great.
Yeah, he's basically saying we wish all guys are available when they're healthy. Some guys are, some guys aren't. Kind of what he said. I mean, it wasn't the best answer you'd want to hear from your coach, but I'd also be upset if I was Jock Vaughn too.
Of course, KD masks a lot of deficiencies you have as a basketball player. But at least there's a silver lining. He is a good basketball player when KD's on the floor. And he's impactful when KD's on the floor, I should say. Let me not say good. He's impactful.
If he was that impactful, he'd play 4 quarters. Fourth quarter.
No doubt. But
Down the stretch.
they have the luxury that they don't have
Claxton's
to
is
play
more
him. Exactly.
impactful.
They have the luxury
He's
that
getting
they
paid
have other personnel.
$114 million.
No, it's one of the worst contracts in
They
sports.
don't have the luxury. That is a waste of money.
I'm not disagreeing. Well, no, they do have the luxury because they have Claxton.
It's just a
They have
clog
personnel.
of waste and
It hurts.
You can
It
use
just
that
hurts.
to get other guys.
Did you trade? I mean, you had Harden.
Would you rather 2 Royce
Ugh.
O'Neals or Ben Simmons?
did have
I'd rather
Harden.
2 Royce O'Neals.
Tyus Jones.
voted out.
Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones is
You
better
would
than Ben
not stand
Simmons.
at a chance.
No, you were in on the Ben Simmons.
You're not wrong.
Take
I'm
it,
laughing
You would
because
not
it's
stand at a
fucking fucked up.
chance. Man, Dehls is lucky.
What did he say?
Because if the Nets ever traded Harden, the Celtics don't stand a chance.
Oh,
Let's look at Ben Simmons'
Not at all.
numbers.
yeah.
But
doubt it.
Claxton?
I like Claxton.
I do wish.
I like Claxton.
I mean, I say that, but I really don't wish it strongly. But Harden staying on the Nets would be crazy. It's just the injuries. You never really would know and never really could fully commit to the Nets. And in hindsight, obviously now he's having success with Philadelphia, and now this is the healthiest we've seen James Harden in a little while. But that big 3 Nets team, man, goodness God.
This week in the NBA, I'll start off first. Blazers.
How many you have? 7?
No, I just have one.
Wow.
You're expecting something different?
I was. I mean, every show, it's at least 4 or 5. I'm exaggerating, of course, but
Well, this week in the NBA, not much happened. So we're going to keep going.
all right.
Here we go.
Blazers, 4-year, $120 million offer for Jeremy Grant. It's on the table. He has not signed it.
I thought he declined it. It's
Yeah.
just
What was
It's on the table.
What was my bet for Boom? 36.5?
for
Paul
PG?
George.
36.5 PRA.
He's at 29 right now. Another fucking W.
What
Go,
is that?
baby.
Yeah.
you took the under.
Be serious.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what the line was.
I don't take unders.
All right, what was the line?
36.5 points, rebound, assist over.
And what does he have?
He has 17.6 rebounds, 4 assists. He will
Kawhi has
undoubtedly
12
get
points.
Oh, so you're saying he will get it?
it. Oh, yeah. It's
There
another
we go.
W for me.
All right, don't
15
count your
more.
chickens before they hatch.
I'm on forever. Count my chickens
all
when they
right,
hatch.
all right.
And Grant could receive $223 million over a 5-year period.
Who?
Yeah,
Jeremy
Jeremy
Grant.
Grant.
The fuck?
Yeah, Jeremy Grant.
Yo, send me to the league, man.
What has he accomplished to, like, I know it's usually like an All-Star game
That's
or
bad.
an
They're a 12
All-NBA
seed.
appearance.
He gets buckets.
But what gives him that boost in contract to get to 225?
I don't know.
Because it's
Portland,
usually, I thought it was
you
an
do not-
All-Star and All-NBA
You
appearance.
do not re-sign Jeremy Grant with the way this team is looking because you're not going to have any flexibility. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
You're right.
This week in the NBA, I have one.
I love that.
Bones Highland has been put on the trade block.
I did see that.
And I thought it was very interesting. But I get it. You know, Denver's in win now mode. Bones is inconsistency on offense and horrible. He's a horrible defender. I think they're looking for a guy more in the Caruso department, a veteran guard to lead the charge.
Those don't
defensively.
exist, kid.
Yeah, well, you know, just a veteran
He's the
guard.
best perimeter defender in the league.
A veteran
You're
guard.
welcome.
Yeah,
You
thank
need that.
I put you on.
I watch him.
I told you all about Alex Caruso.
No, I
You refused to
understand.
listen.
A veteran guard, just somebody who can will the second year, especially with Jamal Murray. He's starting to get back to form. They just
He
want a
is, bro.
veteran guy just to maximize this team. And then when you have him, Bruce Brown, you got enough guys that can create. So I thought it was interesting, though. I think a young team would definitely like Bones' production, definitely like what they could bring with Bones because he's a volume scorer. But I think Denver's just trying to maximize their championship window. So I understand the move.
Got it. This week in the NBA, he's back. Anthony Davis returns against the Spurs. 20-point double-double, 4 blocks.
I
played-
genuinely thought you was thinking about somebody else.
Like, who else
I
would
don't
I be
know.
talking about? There's no one else
Not-
to talk
not like
about,
this. Not with this
especially when Anthony
enthusiasm.
Davis is returning back to the Lakers, especially after all the disrespect that has been thrown onto my Lake Show's name. Now we got the guy back, the guy that was playing at a top 5 level at the start of the season when he was healthy. Now he's back, and of course, in his return, a light 21-11, 4 blocks. It's going to be fun to watch these Lakers, man. I just want to ask one thing, and it's very simple. Do not sleep.
You didn't ask. You're telling us.
He has a great point.
I'm
Okay,
going
we're
to sleep
over.
on them. One.
Earlier this week, Brian Windhorst was on NBA TV
It's a favor to ask. Don't
talking
sleep.
about the trade
Come on,
deadline, and his report is the Raptors basically control the trade deadline. It's something we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. They have really the only impactful players, it feels like, that's out on the trade block. When you look around the NBA, there's just so many teams who can be in a play-in, can be in a playoff spot that there's a lot of teams that want to buy, but not a lot of teams that want to sell. So while you're going to hear a ton of trade rumors, and of course the Heat are going to be involved in all of them, I think this is going to be one of the quieter trade deadlines over the last few years. We'll probably see a couple minor moves, but I'm not expecting anything massive to happen.
Great point, Dehls. Sound funny, Riv?
How the fuck are you picking up the crumbs? Yo, what's wrong with you, yo?
What, he was eating the crumbs off the plate?
Yeah, he was doing
Nah,
it so.
what?
He was just doing it so. He just.
I was
mad
scraping
slow.
it. I was getting everything. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I get everything.
Remember when he ate the munchkin in 9 bites?
Yeah.
That was wicked.
I got to save it.
I destroyed my piece. You guys are taking your time. Is that crazy? What?
I have something very interesting for you
Riv is
guys.
just such a fucking asshole, man.
You laugh.
I laugh because of you.
No, you laugh.
Yo, don't do that.
I have something very interesting for you guys.
Oh, yeah?
This is a would you rather. It's would you rather for this
He
episode.
never tells us.
When was the last time we got one of these?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I think this is going to be a really fun one. Hard. It's difficult.
Okay.
This is would you rather Nicholas Claxton edition.
Listen to that shit.
Clax.
Oh, I got watch it.
Clax.
Here we go.
First name up. Former teammate, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Clax.
I'm going Claxton.
I think I still side with Jared Allen.
I understand where you guys are coming from.
It's close. It's definitely close. But I still
I
side
got
with
Claxton.
Rashawn Holmes.
You fucked up.
He was good. Yo, that's a fall off too, bro. We don't talk about it. He fell off. He fell off, man. Yeah, I'm going with Nicholas Claxton.
Yeah, me too. All right, this next one is
Rashawn Holmes.
this next one is interesting. Claxton plays for the Nets. This guy is the Nets' all-time leading scorer, Brooke Lopez.
Claxton.
it.
Give me the guy who could defend the
Riv,
rim
you're-
and guard
you're-
1 through
you're-
5.
I
I
mean,
love it.
Yeah.
But he can't extend.
Yeah, Brooke could shoot. Brooke also is
Claxton.
top 2 in
Can't
blocks.
Space.
extend
Like, Brooke could shoot
space
Oh,
on
you're
threes.
the
talking
floor,
about offense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that gets mitigated when you have guys like Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
I don't
Yeah, but
disagree.
we're
That
talking about
works for
just
Giannis.
in a vacuum.
I would rather.
In a
There's more
vacuum?
guys like Kevin Durant and Kyrie that can space the floor, like stars that can space the floor.
That's true.
So I would take Claxton.
Yeah, especially taking into account age, I'd go Claxton.
All right, listen. I'm willing to level here. I would. It's tough. All right, Jared Allen or Brook Lopez. Complete side note: Jared Allen or Brook Lopez.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen, yeah, for me too.
That one took me some time.
So
That one took me some
that's
time.
what I'm wondering. The spacing doesn't matter for you.
I think spacing means a lot. It does, and that's why it's a close call. But
His shot blocking has been amazing.
Brook Lopez can space the floor, but Claxton on defense can switch 1 through 5.
Agreed.
That's something that Brook Lopez can do.
No.
He's great in drop coverage and as a help defender, but switching, that's not his calling card. So that's why I'd go Claxton.
It isn't, but he's a great rim protector. It's tough. Ugh, damn. I'm shocked to hear you go Jared Allen, both of you guys, over Brook Lopez.
Yeah, I like Jared Allen over Brook Lopez. He can move a little bit.
I'm going to go Brook for the fact that he can space the floor.
I can
Well,
understand.
with Giannis, of course, it's Brook Lopez, But like if we're talking about if we're pairing him with a player like Giannis or Zion, it's Brook Lopez.
So like if Claxton were to be on the Bucks, is he going to be as effective as
No.
Brook Lopez? But
But
that's why
I think
in a vacuum,
Claxton and Allen can man defenses better than Lopez. Like as
the
one
1
man
through
shows.
5, that argument it's super sound.
like for example, next to Jokic, would you rather have Lopez or Claxton?
Claxton.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, better rim protector.
I don't know. The spacing on that team would be stupid.
Like for the Clippers, Lopez or Claxton?
Claxton.
Well, they already play
easily.
Zubac, and Zubac and Claxton, you probably would
Zubac
take
is a
Claxton.
really
And
good
I
rim
was going to say
protector.
he is. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's
For
it's
the
different.
Warriors, Lopez or Claxton?
Shit, Lopez.
No, look at Kevon Looney.
Yeah, but you add Lopez
Claxton
now.
is just a literally Kevon Looney play style and just better.
No
and more
doubt.
athletic.
But now you add Brook Lopez, who can also space. How do you defend that team?
What do you mean?
At the 5 now, you have Brook Lopez instead of Kevon Looney, right?
Who's a better passer, Claxton or Lopez?
Claxton's underrated as a passer.
That's
Man.
what I'm asking. And who's a better screener, Claxton or Lopez?
Probably Claxton.
Exactly.
But in terms of spacing on the Golden State Warriors,
They don't care about spacing at the 5.
No, they don't. But I'm saying now you have Brook Lopez, who's not a scrub. I'm not saying you're saying he's a scrub. I'm just saying you have an upgrade at the 5 in Brook Lopez who can do the things that
Is
Kevon
he
Looney
really,
can.
he can't do the things Kevon
But in
Looney
terms
can do.
of rim protection,
Yeah, but he's not a good one. He's not a good guy in guarding 1 through 5. Looney's average at that. Well, actually, he's really good for a center. He's really good.
I understand what you mean.
He's a good screener. He's a good passer. That's what they value in the center. And Claxton value
Lopez
everything
can
to
still
value.
screen,
Yeah, but he's not better at 1 through 5 defending. He's not a better screener.
but like offense, I'm
For
taking
the
Brook
Mavericks,
Lopez.
are you taking Claxton or Lopez?
Lopez.
Lopez?
No.
Yeah, Lopez.
It is
Yeah, the
tough.
shooter for
You have
Luka.
Christian Wood. And Christian
You
Wood
want
has shown
Wood
he
I-
can
I would-
defend.
I would say, well, is Wood? Or we're talking about Wood starting or Wood off the bench?
He can do both.
I
He
just
can
do
start.
closing
He could,
lineups.
because I feel like Brook Lopez is He's a starting center.
I'll probably go.
And if it allows you that luxury of having Wood also come off the bench, I feel like I would rather
Shit.
Brook
If
also.
I'm starting though,
It's a tough
Luka,
combo. This
Dort-
one's tough.
Luka, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Claxton, Wood.
yeah.
That sounds
Facts, that's-
better
that's
than
fire.
Lopez, yeah.
I just feel like for Lopez, the spacing thing is a little bit overrated when we're talking about these
Ooh.
collection of guys.
I don't know. The year that they won the title, bro, was that the year that he was? No, he came back and he was great. Yes.
Yeah, this year you're shooting 39% from three. So
Yeah, I mean, Brook has been amazing shooting and as a rim protector.
he's not. He's also an average rebounder though. I think you take that into account. He averages like 6 rebounds for his career at 7 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he shoots 38% from the 3. You can find that somewhere else. You can't.
38 and a big man?
I'm saying you can't find a 1 through 5 switchable big that can defend.
He's one of the best
rim.
shooting bigs in the league, though.
But you cannot find a. There is
The
literally
switchable, no.
There's
No.
like 3
You're
bigs
right.
that can.
You're right.
Three
You're right.
players
Maybe.
that can do
You're
it.
right.
Next name, Robert Williams.
Claxton.
I'm going Nicholas Claxton.
I would take Rob Will. He's better free throw shooter.
Shocker.
What Claxton
Better
has
free throw
shown
shooter.
us this season so
Basically what Rob
far,
was doing last year.
this year, I don't know.
Claxton is a better
don't know.
perimeter on the perimeter. He's a better defender.
His lateral movement is crazy.
It is, but it also worries me that he can't shoot free throws. Rob is a great
Rob
free throw
is a
shooter.
great. You're right.
and he's a great passer too.
You're right. He is. And one of
great.
the,
He's all
No,
right.
For a big man,
For his
for a big
position,
man,
for his
he is.
position.
For a big man, he is.
Great passes Jokic, bro.
and he's a
No,
really
that's a
good.
league.
and he's a
That's
good-
He's
like
the fucking
next
like
level.
best ever.
Great passer Steven Adams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Rob is a great passer.
Rob
for-
is not as
for
good
his
a passer
position.
as Steven Adams, bro.
Okay, he's a
I
great
I mean, that's what
passer
allows
regardless.
Steven Adams to stay on the court, but also
He
Steven
can't
Adams is
shoot, but
horrific.
He gets
at
taken
free
off
throws.
in the
Shooting like
fourth quarter,
34% from the free throw
Yeah,
line.
Free
he
throws is
cannot
very.
do
I think I would go Rob Will, but that one's very close.
Next one, Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
I'll take
I'm
that.
going Bam. Sleeper name, Mason Plumlee.
Did you really
Claxton.
put this on her?
Claxton.
Mason Plumlee has been tweaking. This is
he
more
should-
so of an acknowledgement
Yes.
of how well Mason's been playing, and I
I'll get
respect that.
Claxton.
But it's Claxton.
Yeah, I'm going Claxton too. Plumlee's good though.
Yeah, he's
been
gonna have a really good
tweaking.
year.
Miles Turner. I know people fall in love with the spacing with Miles Turner,
I'll
but
take Claxton.
He's been a good defender too.
well,
He's one of the better shot blockers in the league.
you can say
he fouls a lot.
He blocks a lot of shots. So did Hassan Whiteside. The Pacers are a bottom 25
Don't do
defense
that.
in the NBA.
Don't do that.
The Pacers are a bottom
I'm
25
just saying
defense in the NBA.
offensively, though, he allows you a little bit more luxury than
I know,
Hassan
but
Whiteside.
a defense led by Miles Turner is a bottom 25 one in the NBA. That's all I'm saying.
All their personnel's not that great. Without Tyrese Halliburton, they're bad. They're 1-7, I think, without him.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just defensively. Though.
I know, but the personnel the Pacers have is really just not that good.
I'll go Claxton.
Miles Turner was,
Of course, Miles Turner.
for years on the Pacers, he wasn't, like, the block numbers are great, but defensively his
great of a
impact is
defender.
overrated. Is definitely
He's a
overrated.
great blocker. He's a great shot blocker.
And he also can extend. I think, this one's tough. This one also is tough.
I'm going with Nicholas Claxton here.
I would go with Claxton too.
I'll go Clax.
Yeah,
The last one I have is Mitchell Robinson.
I'll
Claxton.
go Clax.
Yeah.
Oh, Claxton.
Availability.
Crazy how you didn't have the other guys in here. The important one.
Yeah, no JJJ, no Mobley.
I mean, we know he's better. We know Mobley's better than him.
I would take Jaren Jackson over.
Yeah, we
him,
know
too.
Jaren Jackson's better than him too.
Yeah?
respectfully.
Yeah, I think that's
The problem just
The
for
only
me,
one
Jaren
here that
fouls too
wasn't a
much.
debate was Bam Adebayo. Everybody was like,
Bam.
it can go either way.
The Brook
That's
Lopez one was the one that sparked a lot of conversation.
true. Yeah, I didn't want to put like names here that weren't a debate.
I'm
know?
with you.
Every
I-
once in a while in these would you rather's, there's some clearance though. You know.
Yeah, like he cleared Rob Will, so I had to put him in there.
You took Clax over Rob?
Yeah, but it wasn't a clearing. Like the way he said that was kind of crazy. But yeah, I took Clax over.
No, I'm not dapping you. What are we
Claxton.
doing here?
All NBA defensive teams, 10 players total. There's
This
two
was so
defensive teams.
difficult. It was crazy.
It was very
And
difficult.
how I did my defensive team was 2 guards and 3 front court players. Some players listed as wings. I also listed as guards because the first team last season was Marcus Smart and Mikal Bridges was the 2, and he's a forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Giannis, Jaren Jackson, Rudy Gobert. Second team was Holiday, Matisse, Draymond, Bam, Robert Williams.
Draymond almost didn't make an all-defensive team.
My defensive first team this season,
Let's hear it.
Drew Holiday. He's first in matchup difficulty,
Yes.
defending the most pick and roll actions of any player in the NBA, and point of attack defense is ranked 3rd in the NBA currently. The other spot is OG Anunoby. He's the first team all defender. He leads the NBA in deflections per game. He's first in total deflections. He's second in steals per game. And when he's guarding players, they shoot 4.4% worse against him. And he's 8th in matchup difficulty and holds opponents to a 28% field goal percentage when defending them in isolation. So OG is one of the better players in the league at defense. Jaren Jackson Jr. is up next. First in defensive rating, second in block percentage at 68.7%. First is Walker Kessler, who has been really slept on as a rookie.
Agreed.
He's averaging the most blocks per game. And amongst all front court players, he's first in defensive rating. He's leading the first-ranked defense in the NBA in the Memphis Grizzlies. Before he got back, they weren't top 10, I believe. When he's gotten back, they've climbed up, and now they're number 1. And players shoot 6.2% worse on him. The fourth player is Nicholas Claxton. Second in defensive rating, first in total blocks, second in blocks per game, first in defensive points saved this season. And players are shooting 8% worse against him. And he's first in ISOs defended per game and holds opponents to a 39% effective field goal percentage. And the Nets are the 11th ranked defense. They have slid because Kevin Durant's absence. And the last name in my first team All-NBA defense is Brook Lopez. And Brook Lopez is not the switchable defender that a guy like Bam Adebayo is. I think Bam is a better defender. But for this team, looking at some of these stats for Brook Lopez, he's first in contested shots per game. He's contested 200-plus more shots than anyone else in the league. He's third in blocks per game. He's third in block percentage. Players don't shoot that much worse on him, just 2% worse. So not as big of a drop-off as other guys. And against like actions like pick and roll actions against the roll man, he's not good at all. He's actually 13th percentile, which is horrible. but he's first in help defense activity in the league, and he's third in defensive points saved, and he's leading the third-ranked defense. I think he is the anchor to the Bucks defense, not Giannis, but Brook Lopez has been the anchor to that defense, and that's why he's on my first-team All-NBA defense. So to recap it, it's Drew Holiday, OG, Jaren Jackson, Claxton, and Brook Lopez.
You want to go, Riv?
You can go.
All right, so I had difficulty with this one because in terms of guard play at defense, I mean, there's some good players, absolutely, but there's not many. It really is outweighed by the forwards. So for me, first player I have on my first team all defense is Bam Adebayo. Second in defensive win shares. I believe he's top 5 in terms of lowest defensive rating. He's been phenomenal, can guard 1 through 5, and he consistently has done that for years. Riv has been the main voice for the Bam Adebayo fan club, at least on the Pick a Side podcast, and he definitely deserves that acknowledgement this year. I have Evan Mobley, who's first in defensive win shares. I believe he's top 6 in terms of lowest defensive rating. He's been phenomenal. The Cavaliers remain one of the best defensive teams in the league. That's in due part to Jared Allen also being there on the front court. But Evan Mobley, his ability to switch out to the perimeter as well, he is one of the better young defenders in this league, and I believe he will be first team all defense. My next guy is Claxton, to be one of the league leaders in blocks this year, to have the ability to switch on 1 through 5, and not just switch 1 through 5, but switch on 1 through 5 with elite matchups. Like, I've seen him take the challenge of Ja Morant. Like, it just, his confidence in himself is phenomenal, and the improvement that he has shown this year has been second to none. Riv said it on Twitter very perfectly, at DuragRiv, give him a follow, that he deserves to be in the conversation for most improved. And Riv, you were 100% sound on that one. Now, this is where I have difficulty, because are there going to be 2 guards? Can we for sure say that that's going to happen, Riv?
Are there going to be 2 guards?
Yes.
I don't think there should be, but there's a possibility that it can be.
There's going to be a guard and a forward for sure.
I think OG, as long as he continues to stay healthy and play at this level that he has, you already listed the stats. I don't need to reiterate. OG has been phenomenal, especially for the lack thereof guards. And he's not a guard. He's a small forward. I think that he will be one of those guys to take the guard position. Bless you.
Bless you, John.
And then you can't leave Jaren Jackson off this. As simple as that. The league leader in blocks, one of the best defenses in the league in the Grizzlies. He is the reason why they are at that level. His field goal percentage at one point was allowing scorers to shoot less than 40% from the field when he was defending them. He had a span of over 14 games of more than 2 blocks a game, 2 or more blocks a game. Jaren Jackson is one of the best rim protectors in this league, and I have to shed light on this, of course, because the news broke that apparently at home there's rumor or there's allegation that they stat pad Jaren Jackson in terms of blocks. Now, it's funny more than anything, of course, because people are having a field day about this. But I have genuine questions. How is it possible to inflate stats? Like, aren't these guys NBA working with the NBA? You simply can't do that. It'd be harder to do it than not to do it, and to get away with it. Also, when every game is recorded, it's difficult for me to sit with how valid those statements and allegations are. But you simply cannot take away what Jaren Jackson has been doing this year.
John, that's not me.
Why? What is John accusing?
No, it's, a burner is in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
A burner from my podcast.
Oh,
Riv
Riv Academy?
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
No troll.
I am crying.
He followed me.
Yeah, there's no mod. Go ahead.
Did you guys both name your second teams too?
No, I didn't.
I didn't, so just first teams right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So my first team at the guard spot, I of course also have Drew Holiday, one of the best POA defenders in the NBA. And then I got number 2. I have 3 forwards on this one. I have OG Anunoby on my first team.
Mm-hmm.
My third spot, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. on my team. My fourth spot, I have Evan Mobley on my team. And then rounding out my center position, I have Bam Adebayo.
So Claxton's second team.
I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is that I understand what Brook Lopez has been doing this year. And in terms of him being the anchor for the Bucks, it's a fact, 100%. But I think with Bam Adebayo, he covers up so much ground for a lot of weak defenders in Miami's rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is something you have to take into account. I know he doesn't have the statistics like these other great guys. I mean, overall, his players are shooting 44.5% on him when he's defending them. But I think when you look at the things he do as a connector on the defensive end, being able to protect the rim, also being able to switch out, has to be elite in the pick and roll, defending switches, has to be able to defend multiple guys. I think for that and the impact, Miami is the best defense. They have one of the best defensive ratings on the team when he's on the court. When he's off the court, they're like a -10 per 100 possessions. So he's very important for that team. He has to cover up so much. I think Jaren Jackson, for the most part, is like a consensus first team. He's been amazing. He's been the elite rim protector. He's been the anchor for that Memphis Grizzlies team. And for me, Evan Mobley, I have this fetish for his defense since he's walked into the league. Yeah, he's been a generational defender. He has them Bam-like tricks where he can guard 1 through 5, protect the rim. And he's so long and quick on his feet and able to connect and be able to guard and pick and rolls. It's ridiculous. And then, of course, OG Anunoby. I don't think I have to say too much about that one.
If you had to rank who could guard, 5 the best, Bam, Claxton, and Mobley, how would you rank them?
Bam, Mobley, Claxton.
That's how it would go.
Yeah.
My 5, we're going to be reiterating a lot of names here. I have Drew Holiday. He's year in and year out one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. We know the Bucks, they're still staple without Giannis putting up 30 a game, but we know their staple every single year is going to be defense. He has a big impact in that. So I have 1 guard. I have 2 forwards and 2 centers. I don't know exactly. I feel like everyone has different opinion on what 5 it should be. So I just thought the 5 best defenders this season. I have Evan Mobley on here, as you guys mentioned. His versatility is just ridiculous. He's Cavs one of the best defensive teams in the league. You have Jared Allen there. Obviously, he plays a big impact in that, but Evan Mobley is a fantastic defender. Jaren Jackson, like Riv said, it's consensus. He's arguably the best defender in the league. What he's able to do to protect the rim, to block shots, but also be able to be versatile on the perimeter as well. You have Nic Claxton. Claxton is, breakout season. This has been his year finally that we talked a lot of shit coming into the season about them not having a center. And he always just felt he doesn't look bigger, but he just feels bigger on the court. I don't know if that really makes sense.
He still pushed him to get into the weight room.
He still looks a little thin, but he has obviously made a huge impact for that
lateral
Nets team.
quickness is really what stands out.
That's
to
part
me.
of the reason why he's a long guy.
His strides are crazy,
and that's really been. You could look at KD and Kyrie, the efficiency and all of this, but if it wasn't for Nic Claxton, we would not be talking about the Nets as legitimate championship contender. He's been probably one of the biggest reasons. Obviously, KD's going to get all of that love, but what he's done on the defensive side has really made this team go from, they'll be a good team to know they're a legit championship contender. And lastly is Bam. He's one of the best defenders in the league. Like we said, the stats he puts up every single year, his versatility, be able to guard 1 through 5 and really make up for a Heat team that isn't the most talented defensively, I guess, to put it nicely. One of the best defenders in the league.
Second team.
Here we go.
First name up, Alex Caruso. Caruso has to be an All-NBA defender this year. He deserves to be in this right here. He's 4th in defensive LeBron, according to B-Ball Index. Top 3 is Claxton, JJJ, Kessler, and just to rattle off some more, Lopez, Mobley, Jared Allen, Draymond Green. So, Caruso's amongst some great players as a guard. Mm-hmm. He's 5th in matchup difficulty, 2nd in off-ball chaser defense, and it just goes to show his navigation around screens and denying the ball. 2nd in deflections, and he's top 10 in loose ball recovers as well. And he's 9th in defensive points saved. The Bulls have the 13th ranked defense, and that's really a testament to him and Ayo. They've been their 2 best defensive players. They clamp up, and Caruso is...
Our guards always lock.
Yeah, he's valuable as a defender.
Miss him every single day.
Mason Caruso's nuts.
Second here...
He's arguably your best player.
Do this every show.
The second name I'm going to go with is Dylan Brooks. He's 1st in off-ball chaser defense.
Interesting.
And he's allowing opponents are shooting 4% worse against him, and he's 12th in matchup difficulty. I just think he is the defensive perimeter stopper on the 1st-ranked defense in the league. Mm-hmm. Dylan Brooks, the job that he does on Luka, on guys like Anthony Edwards, on LeBron James.
What do you mean LeBron James?
He guarded him well.
He did. LeBron was inefficient.
And Dylan
he did
Brooks,
give him fits. He's annoying.
He was definitely inefficient.
He's annoying.
He was fouling all game long.
That's what he does. He's annoying.
Dylan Brooks is just one of those guys who defensively, that's why he's so valuable to Memphis, because he's a lockdown defender. He truly is. I have Giannis here, 2nd in defense rating, 2nd in rim defensive field goal percentage versus expected, and he's a part of the 3rd-ranked defense. I think you have to mention Giannis here. Then I got Evan Mobley, 5th in defensive rating, first in contested 3-point shots. As a big man, the ability for him to guard the perimeter like this is uncanny. He's fourth in contested shots and second in defensive points saved and first in defensive win shares, leading the second-ranked defense in the league. And that's very valuable, and he could very well be first team. And then I have Bam Adebayo, second in defensive win shares.
Oh, so you did keep
anchoring
him out.
the
Okay.
fourth-ranked defense and 11th in defensive points saved. I feel like there's going to be guys that get snubbed. You know, Draymond Green might get snubbed, but probably I don't think he should. You know,
I didn't hear Jason Tatum, which is what I was waiting
he's
for.
not here. He's not here.
It's a fold.
If
Top 4 in defensive win shares?
if I'm putting somebody over Dylan Brooks, it's Paul George
What are
defensively.
you laughing at?
You was waiting to use that shit,
No,
bro.
no,
Admit it.
defensive win shares.
That's why I was
I've been
like,
using it.
yeah,
all,
you've been
I've
waiting
using it
to
all
use
show.
that.
No, I've been using it
Say
all
that,
show.
say that louder, though. Say that, what you just said louder.
If I'm taking Dylan Brooks out, it's for Paul George. Paul George, I think, has been an All-NBA defender this year.
I love my guy. He's back.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. My list is probably going to make some noise. So, for my guard spot, for all defensive second team, I have Alex Caruso. That should be another one that's consensus. I also have Dylan Brooks. That should be another one that's pretty consensus.
Is it?
Yeah. For me, at 3, though, I have Draymond Green. I did put him on my team. I just think towards the end of the game, when you're able to either control the defense, man the rim, and then be able to switch it 1 through 5, I think it's impressive. The way he communicates towards the end of games, where he puts guys in positions to defend, I think that's something you got to put into account when you talk about defensive teams. And I know he doesn't have the global numbers because his team isn't as great defensively, but you just see the impact on and off the court when Draymond Green is on. Claxton is on my list for the second team because he could have made a first team. I think it's so many guys that have an argument to make a first team. It's tough to leave guys out like Joel said, but for me, Claxton undoubtedly makes the second team. He's been one of the best rim protectors in the league, one of the best versatile defenders in the league. He anchors that Brooklyn Nets defense, and he's definitely one of the reasons why they turned around defensively. And then Brook Lopez, he also makes my second team because, of course, he mans the Bucks defense. He is the guy, the help side defender, the shot blocker. He provides so much help coverage for his guys to make mistakes. It's ridiculous because of how big and slow he looks. So, for me, that's my defensive team.
All right, so my all-NBA defensive team, number 2, I have Drew Holiday here. I left him off my first list, and that's only for the fact that I think that the perimeter defenders in this league have been so dominant this year, and I understand that Drew Holiday probably will be a first-team all-defense for the fact that they need a guard, and that's going to be Drew Holiday. But I don't know. I find the category itself super confusing. So, yes, Drew Holiday has to be there. He takes the toughest assignment every single night. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Alex Caruso, in my opinion, the best perimeter defender in the league. I mean, he is just a pest to every single defender. I say it every single time we talk about Alex Caruso. He is dearly missed on the Lakers because of what he brings to you on the defensive side of the court and then in transition as well. But mainly what he can do on ball is just second to none. In terms of my forwards, you have Dylan Brooks. I have Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has been on the best team in the NBA all season long, and on top of it, top 4 in defensive win shares. He's been phenomenal all season long defensively. On ball, Jason Tatum is one of the better wing defenders in the league, and I think that he needs that acknowledgement with being second team all defense. At the forwards, I also have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is on a top 3 defensive team right now. Giannis is just continuously one of the best defenders in the league. Inevitably, he'll get another All-NBA defense. And then Brook Lopez, who, again, like you guys alluded to earlier, he's been phenomenal protecting the rim, one of the best shot blockers in the league. That's my top 5. That's my top 10, I guess.
Top 10, second team. A lot of the same guys you have. I also have Tatum on All-NBA second team. You can make the argument that he's not the best defender. I understand that. Rob Will has missed some time. Smart got it last year, and honestly, the statistics don't really back up Smart as much as they did last season at the very least. But Tatum, the Celtics' top 5 defense, has been one of the best defenses in the league. Really outside the first month or 2 of the season, ever since then, really since Rob has gotten back. So maybe that goes to show maybe Rob should get in over Tatum. I also have OG on here. He did not make my first team, but he deserves to be on it. You know, he's leads the league in steals, been leading the league in steals basically all season long, one of the better perimeter defenders. There's rumors now that, you know, he could possibly go for 3 first-round picks, and obviously he's got some offensive game to him. You're trading those picks because of his defense. And to back up kind of what we've been saying, it's so hard to get these guards in here. Not that OG's guard, but it's hard to get these guards in here because guarding perimeter guys is so difficult. Like, even if you're the best of the best, Like Luka's gonna give you 30, Mitchell's gonna give you 30. So no matter how elite of a defender you are, it's gonna be hard to be put over these defensive anchors as big men. So as you guys have been listening to this, that's I think most of our mindset and logic when we're going through this. So Tatum, OG, I have Giannis on here as well, as you mentioned. Oh my God.
Who's Dylan Brooks is on the left. Paul George is on the right. Yeah, I'm pushing this agenda strong.
Goodness God.
About what does that say about Paul George?
Paul
Just
George
being a better
is-
defender
he's
than Dylan
just,
Brooks.
Yeah. No,
just to show how great he's been this
Yeah.
year. I think, excuse my language. Ooh, I said that word. People have been sleeping, you know.
Say whatever you want, man.
One name that you guys didn't have that I do is Jared Allen. I think Jared Allen, Mobley's been great.
I actually had a third team.
You had
Just
a third team?
Just to give some guys some,
Okay.
Paul George, Embiid, Walker Kessler, Herb Jones, Jared Allen. Those guys were on
I
my
do.
third
I do
team.
have
Not
Jared
Tatum
Allen.
either.
You make the argument.
Tatum does not make my team, unfortunately.
And my last player is
Anthony
Brook
Melton
Lopez.
deserves some respect.
D'Anthony Melton
He
was
is-
my
he does.
honorable mention.
He does.
Those are my honorable. I'm sorry. I can't get everybody. I'm not fucking perfect.
Yeah, there's
I
a lot of
apologize,
great
guys.
defenders in the league right now.
There are.
You know, there's a lot of players that specialize in that side of the floor.
What do you want to say?
No. Listen, I like that you guys had Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got it right for the guys.
Tatum
you know?
over Draymond though. Is that more of a team defense thing or individually?
That's Draymond. I don't
can
think
make the argument.
Draymond. I don't-
Draymond.
Draymond
I mean-
almost didn't make it all defense team last year. I mean,
I think
yes,
that was more 'cause
Draymond's
of
been,
injuries.
no
Yeah,
doubt
it was,
about
yeah.
it.
It was.
Absolutely.
Bro,
Uh,
Draymond, I feel so bad leaving him off, bro.
Stand
Did
on
you
it.
have him?
I really
You had
wanna
him on.
leave
I had him on
somebody
my
else.
second
I'm
team,
keeping
yeah.
Tatum here. He's been amazing all season long.
I think he deserves his flowers.
Last year he didn't get in. He definitely was deserving to be in the conversation. There was definitely guys more deserving last year, but this year he's been the best defensive player on his team all year long.
So, as we all know, there are only 6 front court players that can make the All NBA defensive team.
Facts.
The All Defensive team. Now, but there's a lot of great front court players,
So many.
which makes it difficult because you have Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Brook Lopez, Giannis, Bam, Embiid, Claxton, Draymond.
Yes.
Even Kessler's been a rookie. Has been amazing defensively.
Absolutely.
But only 6 can make it.
Yes.
So who are your 6?
So my 6 is going to be Bam Adebayo, Evan Mobley. Claxton has to make it for the improvement that he's shown this year. Jaren Jackson Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez.
My 6, I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson Jr., Nicholas Claxton. I got to go Evan Mobley. I got to go Bam Adebayo. Between Giannis and Brook Lopez, I think Lopez has been the anchor of that defense. He is. And for that reason, I got to go Lopez. And I just feel so bad not having Draymond Green here. I think I'm going to go Draymond over Giannis. I do.
All right.
I think
do think.
I think so.
I would put Draymond over Giannis pretty comfortably for me. My 6 guys.
Giannis right now has the lowest defensive rating.
I understand that. Don't get me wrong. He also is his matchup difficulty is very at the bottom of the league.
he's a floater defensively.
My 6 would be Bam. This is in order too, by the way. I think this is ranked. Very
Yeah, got it.
Bam, Mobley, JJJ, Claxton, Green, Lopez. Those
I like
my
it.
6.
My 6 would be Mobley, Jaren Jackson, Claxton, Bam, Giannis, and Jared Allen.
It really sucks because I really want to put Draymond Green here. I do.
He deserves it.
I think they all deserve it. Even Joel Embiid deserves it a lot.
Yep.
He does. He's anchoring a top
Joel
7
Embiid has been
defense right now.
fantastic this year.
Yeah.
Both sides.
It really does suck. Currently, the Clippers are playing the Hawks.
How's
and
your
We're gonna
boom
name the
fantasy
guards.
pick
We're not
looking?
gonna name our guards.
We did name our guards.
No, you said we're only gonna do 6 forwards, and then you didn't say.
No,
name our-
I was just
our 4
asking you.
guards.
I was just asking you a question.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because we
Yeah,
named
yeah.
so many forwards,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
What's
Well,
quiet?
also they made last year, Mikal Bridges, who's clearly
Made him
a
a guard.
forward.
Yeah,
They made him a
that's what I'm
guard,
saying. Tatum
Yeah.
could be a 2.
which is why Tatum you could make
Could be a
that.
2.
That's why I put OG as a 2 there.
Yeah.
So Kawhi has 22 points,
Here we go.
and he only needs 5
more.
more.
How much time's left?
Entire quarter, fourth quarter. The
All
fourth
right.
quarter hasn't started yet.
Here we go.
Hopefully, clutch it,
It's
please.
a close game.
I told you he's been averaging 29 points per game the last 9 games.
Yes.
I just went with the numbers. I
is
researched the
84.
data.
Just trust the math.
Yeah, I had
trust
to
the
trust the
math.
math.
Is your boy at 37?
He's close. He's at 31 right now.
Who would you pick?
Sabonis under.
Sabonis under 40.5.
That's tough.
They played Nike.
Yeah, and Rudy Gobert is defending him.
All right. I don't. Rudy's been kind of whatever, bro.
No, he's still one of the better defenders
Nice,
this year.
nice.
Yeah, but
on the
Sabonis
court.
is just
Faded.
different.
No, absolutely. So is Rudy.
I guess.
Nah, Sabonis is amazing. Let me not joke.
I'm so sick that I don't have the Boom Fantasy
I'm praying on his
graphic.
downfall today.
I'm so sick I don't have the Boom Fantasy graphic up here. I'm actually about to send it to John so John can have it. So we can put it up on the screen. But currently, I'm 0-3-1. I had a tie. And Drew's 1-3 and Riv is 2-2. You're on a 2-game win streak right now.
My
2-game
1-3
heater.
hurts. It hurts bad because Donovan
Yes,
Mitchell,
man.
day one, is at 24 points. The over was 25.5. And he goes up for the game-winning basket. He is fouled clear as day. No whistle. The next day comes out. What is that report called?
Where the referees.
Yeah, that bullshit.
What's it called, John? Do
The
you know?
2 minute.
2 minutes.
That shit's
2 minute
stupid.
report.
2 minute report. That's what it is. They came out and said that Donovan Mitchell was fouled and he should have went to the free throw line.
So, John, I sent over the Boom Fantasy graphic to the email.
And then
get it so we can put it on the
another.
screen.
Well, I lost Boyan just
Thanks.
flat out. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
But then Wendell Carter last night has 8 rebounds, has to get one more, and he fouls out stupidly. I was so pissed off.
It does suck. In the meantime, while John gets that, we're going to read some super chats because we didn't read all of them.
Hot.
And a lot of people have sent donations. So some people have said clap for me. Some people also don't want to clap. Paul Murray, $5. Come on, y'all. You don't get much love when it comes to basketball in Nolan. So can we please just agree to give us this Zion starter spot?
All right, done.
Yeah, it's already done.
Say it.
Done.
Yeah.
You got it, Paul.
Done.
Thanks for the cake.
Isaiah Frog, $5. Shout out Pick a Side, best pod on YouTube, Blue Heart. 100K soon.
Call.
Your favorite player of all time. Mine is Ocho Cinco NFL, McGrady NBA, and Randy Orania.
Randy
MLB.
Arozarena. I like those three. Randy Arozarena being his favorite player is interesting.
What sport?
He must be a new fan to the game.
He did NFL, NBA, MLB.
Mine's Peyton Manning, LeBron James, Alex Rodriguez.
all time.
Yeah.
NFL, it's AJ Green, Joe Hayden, and then NBA, it's Steph Curry.
Such an instant combo. No
Yeah.
MLB, no Astros.
I don't really have a favorite. In baseball, I'll
Oh,
probably. say-
Jordan. That's not your dog?
He's my dog, but I don't have like an all timer.
You look like an Altuve guy.
Nah,
Got his ass.
he beat you guys.
He
You
did.
cheated.
My NBA
Also
all
true.
time.
And
not
also
this
did.
time. Not this time. Not
My-
this
We didn't matter.
My NBA all time is James Harden, Kobe Bryant, and NFL is Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes.
Who's your MLB guy?
Don't stop.
Pete Alonso.
Matt Harvey.
Respect.
Pete.
I'm an
Um,
OG.
Although,
I'm
yeah.
an OG fan.
Matt Harvey was good.
I really
He
don't-
got himself into this sticky
NFL, I
situation
really
recently.
don't know. It might
Oh,
like
never mind.
Yeah, low key. I forgot about that.
I don't know for NFL. For NBA, it's Tatum. For MLB, it's Mike Piazza.
So you don't have one for
NFL is
NFL?
tough.
Mark Sanchez?
Wasn't saying like I don't really have a favorite. Like it's no Jet. It's like as much as I want to say Revis, he went to the fucking Patriots.
Mangold? You're not a Mangold guy?
Ugh,
I'm a big
I
time
love
Brady guy too. I
Mangold,
forgot.
but you're a big time Brady guy. Yeah.
Oh,
Brady,
you're also
Brady,
Josh
Brady
Allen guy.
Mahomes, bro. Herbert.
No, I like Josh
Kirk
Allen. I'm not a
Cousins.
Josh Allen guy though. I love him though. I love his game. This is from Game Killer 619.
H. Jalen Hurts, hate Lamar.
Who has the best bench in the NBA and top 5 6 men?
That's a lot.
Best bench in the NBA.
Well, Tyrese Maxey has to be a top 5 6 man.
Brogdon, Westbrook's been really good. Kind of
Westbrook.
inefficient
Malik Monk.
times.
Norman Powell,
Uh,
I think, has been a great
he
6
starts.
man. Well, he's been coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis.
Facts.
You can say Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh yeah, he's been great.
He refused. I respect it though. You got to keep the Generation 8 alive. I get it. It fuels me.
Jordan Poole.
He starts.
Yeah,
he's a
he
starter
starts
now.
too much.
Well, because Wiggins is injured.
No, he was gonna start regardless.
Oh wait, so Wiggins is coming off the bench now?
No, Kerr announced that Poole was gonna start anyways, but Wiggins just got hurt. But when Wiggins gets back, Looney's back to the bench.
Dre plays the 5.
So Dre plays 5. Okay, well, that's interesting.
Ugly lineup.
We win with it.
This from Paul Murray, $5. Drew's this week in the NBA is always his moment to talk the Lakers.
Absolutely.
I can't knock it.
It is
Absolutely.
facts.
If someone's got to do it.
Don't sleep.
Talk to him, Joel. Even though you've been sleeping all year.
Luke Cornett just locked up fucking Thomas Bryant.
Now, thoughts on Clippers' 4-game win streak. They have been on a heater. They couldn't make it 5 games very, very soon with how they're playing. They're facing the Hawks tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Need Kawhi to get over 26.5. I think it's coming. They have wins, but not really like great wins. They've beaten the Spurs, Mavericks, Lakers, and Spurs again. But they're taking care of business. They're 12-0 this season
Lakers
against
win
the
was
bottom
great, man.
dweller teams.
Good.
They're 12-0 against the Hornets, Pistons, Rockets, and Spurs. And during this stretch, Kawhi and PG are averaging a combined 27.2 points per game on 63, on 63, 48, 92 splits. So what are your thoughts, Riv, on the
Talk
Clippers
about your
right
boys. Let's hear it, man. Push it.
I think they just, it's interesting because I forgot who said it, but they talked about they had a team meeting after a particular loss. I think it was the Denver loss. They had a team meeting about that loss, and they just said they got to lock in. They pretty much made it simple. Yo, let's stop fucking losing, and they locked it. No, pardon me. And you mentioned it. It hasn't been against great teams, but the concentration on these last few games has been very important. The connection between the guys, Paul George and Kawhi getting back to form, I think that's important. Them being healthy, I think that's the most important for the first time in a while. They have most of their guys playing, so I think because that's always been an issue for them, health. Offensively, just being more in tune, being more in sync. Before this year, before January started, they were one of the worst offenses in the league, but defensively they were amazing. Now, just finding their tune, getting in sync, mainly because Kawhi is figuring out Paul George is getting back, and they now are playing him at the point guard position. They start Terrence Mann because the point guard position has been pretty messed up for them. Reggie Jackson and John Wall haven't really found that dynamic, haven't made it very easy for them. So they're deciding to go with T-Man, Paul George, just a wing lineup, defend, have Paul George play the one, and that just goes to show about his creation on offense and his ability to get his players involved. But Clippers figuring out at the right time. You got to start figuring out, especially before All-Star break. You got to start logging in some wins. They're a game behind the Pelicans, I believe, and that's an important chance to maybe lock up a 4th seed, get higher in the standings. But this is just a good win. I mean, tonight, if they win this game, it would just be keep moving forward, moving forward. And that's what they have to do. They have to stay focused, stay locked in.
You play the games on your schedule. Yes, they're on a 5-game heater or should be on a 5-game heater depending on the outcome of this game. And you play who's on your schedule. Simple as that. I'd never knock someone for going on a win streak. Like when the Grizzlies went on an 11-game win streak, are we going to knock them for who they played? No, we're not going to do that. Ironically, the Grizzlies have lost, 5 in a row since then? But to talk about the Clippers and why they are so interesting now is because you spoke about it a little bit, but I was expecting you to go into the deep dive victory lap a little bit. Kawhi Leonard, what he's been doing these last 9 games has been unbelievable.
If you're a Kawhi fan, you don't celebrate regular seasons.
That's pretty accurate. I don't disagree. But why it's something to celebrate is because he struggled to start, no doubt. And it was very evident. But it was a matter of him getting his legs underneath him. When Kawhi is healthy, you never doubt his ability. In the last 9, he's averaging 29 points per game, 7 rebounds, about 4 assists, shooting 56% from the field, 45% from 3, and 91% from the free throw line. What he's been doing in this stretch of games has been Kawhi Leonard, and honestly better than what we've seen from Kawhi Leonard. This efficiency is insane, shooting from everywhere on the court. It does not matter. Kawhi Leonard is finishing with high efficiency, and it's leading to the Clippers playing winning basketball. The one thing you can say about the Clippers and why people are hesitant on them in 2023 is for the fact that what history has shown us. When Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are on the court together, that is a team that you can't sleep on. Simple as that. Their talent, the two of them together, has never been in question. What has always been at the forefront of the Clippers is health, and whether you can rely on these two guys to be there when you need them most. Now, Kawhi Leonard, unfortunately, last year missed the entire year, and then the year before that goes down right before they reached the Western Conference Finals. They were able to close that series out without Kawhi Leonard. Speaks to the depth that the Clippers have. But how much better they are with Kawhi Leonard is just so evident when he's there versus when he's not. And you're seeing it now. They're a top 5 seed while they're finally getting healthy and they're finally getting going. I'm hesitant to go all in because of the history that they have with injuries. But it just should not – it's a pretty obvious statement, or it should be obvious that if these guys are healthy, this is a team you have to look out for. But I understand if you want to use caution. But simple as this, when these two guys are together, the Clippers are a team to beat.
They're doing a lot of that off defense, too. This offense has been struggling. They're 28th in points, but they're top 10 defense, at top 3, it says here, in opponent points per game. So a lot of it has been on the defensive end. I mean, you talked about how great of a defender Paul George has been this season. We obviously know the capabilities Kawhi has. This team's been kind of inconsistent, though, all year, right? They've gone on this win streak, but just a couple weeks ago, they did have a 6-game losing streak. I think Paul George might have missed a few of those games. But it does go to show when you play the easier opponents, like Drew said, you should be winning these games, right? The fact that some of these games are coming against the Spurs and the Lakers pre-AD and stuff like this, it's games you're expecting this Clippers team to win, especially if you're a Clippers fan who thinks you could really make a push in the playoffs. I do hesitate to really get behind this team. I said a couple months ago that I was out on them. I was just out on the drama and the nonsense, and not drama, I should say, but just the constant injuries, the baggage that comes with this team. That's a great word to use. And even though Ty Lue is a fantastic coach, I mean, there's really only so much you could do when your best player being Kawhi Leonard. You really don't know in any given day, any given week, is he going to be able to play today? Is he not going to be able to? I know Kawhi wants to play. When he's out there and he's healthy, he's going to be playing and he's going to be one of the best players in basketball. But this Clippers team and the organization has taken a very long-term approach, which I think is the right move with Kawhi Leonard, being very cautious, not letting him always play in back-to-backs and giving him load management, which has obviously caused a bunch of uproar over the years. But I think at the very least, you should be positive, right? In the beginning of January and in December, you were on that 6-game losing streak. Things weren't looking so bright. And now you come back and you have a 4-game win streak. You do go on the road for the next 5 or 6 games, but with some winnable games at the Hawks, at the Bulls, at the Knicks, maybe the Nets without KD. But for this Clippers team to really make a statement, I think it's going to be having big wins over the West, being able to beat the Grizzlies, having wins over the Warriors, and really showing that they could win in a 7-game series. Because once playoff comes around, it's obviously not the same than you just having these little 4-game win streaks. You can win 4 games in the regular season. It's completely different being able to win 4 games in a row or 4 games at all in the playoff series. So it's good that they're healthy, but they still need to prove more to me, especially in the West, that they could take down the top dogs.
I looked at top 5
you
duels.
ripping ass, and that's why.
No, I was
muted your
eating.
mic?
That's why.
Got it.
In terms of top 5 duels, from a plus-minus standpoint, number 1 is Jokic and Aaron Gordon. Number 2 is Zion and Bi. Number 3 is Harden and Embiid. Number 4 is Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr. And number 5 is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I think this 4-game win streak is nice. The Clippers have outscored opponents by 100-plus points in about 500 minutes together with Kawhi and PG. But I have some worries about them because it doesn't feel like they have much lineup continuity. They have some rotation mainstays that are always getting minutes, like Kawhi, PG, Zubac, Morris, Batum, Reggie Jackson, Norman Powell. That right there is 7 players. And then outside of those 7 players, you still have John Wall, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Rocco, who, are they going to get into rotation or not? Mm-hmm. And their backup center right now is Moses Brown, and that's a huge problem.
No, he stinks.
Yeah. Kennard has been out of the rotation, and he's
back in now.
But he's their best spot-up shooter. They need him.
You mentioned Wall, right, who's been out?
John Wall, yeah. But I don't think the John Wall's experiment has worked this far. I don't think so.
No,
I think
I'm with you.
That at this point, they can't really count on him for like a playoff series. I think they should look to upgrade at that position. Terrence Mann's minutes have been inconsistent.
Let him get healthy, and then we can really see that statement.
And they've been experimenting with Terrence Mann at point guard, and that really hasn't worked out. And Robert Covington just recently got back into the rotation, and he's had 6 blocks in the last 3 games. And the best thing about Rocco, and why it was kind of questionable why he wasn't in rotation, was that he's crucial to small ball lineups. Because although he's 6'9", he's a really good rim protector because he has a pretty good wingspan. And I was really questioning why he was out the rotation. But they have some clear needs. It's the point guard position, and it's the backup center position. They have a $9.7 million trade exception from Ibaka. And they have 7 players on the roster making $10 to $17 million. They
can make some moves.
In terms of targets, I look at Fred VanVleet as a potential target because of how he's played with Kawhi Leonard in the past. And he's an instant upgrade defensively. I don't think he's a true point guard they need, but he has some playmaking capabilities that can ease off the load of guys like Paul George, who Paul George has been the point guard for the Clippers this season. But Clippers players, they still feel like they need a traditional one. And if it's not Fred VanVleet, I think it's Mike Conley. Mike Conley's averaging like 6 assists, 7 assists per game in Utah. He's crucial to what they do. If they can get an upgrade like that, I believe in this team. But the problem is that the Clippers don't have assets that you like. Like their young players are Jason Preston, Luke Kennard,
Shout
Amir
out to
Coffey. Yeah, shout out to Jason Preston who's on the show. And you have second-round picks. You know, Brandon Boston. Those are their young players. And because they haven't had much opportunity in the league to show what they can do, they really aren't viewed as, I guess, positive assets in an entire landscape. So it's a tough sell. You know, if I'm negotiating with the Raptors, am I going to tell you, oh, listen, I'll give you one first-round pick because they don't own most of the first-round picks. They can't trade them.
Mm-hmm.
They can only trade one, the 2027 one right now. I'll give you this first with Brandon Boston and Amir Coffey. I don't think that moves the needle for any team.
It doesn't.
And I agree with you because you can see it in a lot of their sets. You know, they come into the offense. You know, teams are pressing because when you have a wing, you kind of want to put a little guy on him, kind of press the issue. And a lot of their guys are not traditional point guards, so they don't understand pace too well. They don't understand timing, setting an offense. So a lot of the times they take a long time to get into their offensive sets. And even then, it's just a lot of one-on-one work. They trust their guys against your best guy. They run a lot of pick and rolls. So a point guard would definitely help that out in that scenario. But, yeah, if they get a point guard, you know, I'm still high on the team because when you have Paul George, Kawhi, it's a big thing. But
Championship, still feeling it?
In the West, you could see it, you know. Health
Over
is
the Kings?
Would
they could
you?
beat the Kings.
Would
Nuggets?
you?
That's a tough challenge.
Do you think the Timberwolves would be willing to trade with the Clippers
No.
because they're in the Western Conference?
Not even that. They don't even have anything they would take.
Like, is D'Lo worth multiple firsts?
They don't even have most of first to give.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that.
I mean, I think like a player like, you know, this is unrealistic, but a player like Tyus Jones would be huge. for a
Yeah,
team
that
like the
is pretty
Clippers. But like
unrealistic.
something like that, you know, something within that realm.
Tyus Jones is one of the best backup point guards in the game.
They'd love Peyton Pritchard.
It's too small.
I feel like why don't you like John Wall?
It's not working.
Well, he's been hurt.
But when he was playing, he can't shoot.
He can't.
He still thinks it's 2015.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't fit with this because he's a different type of playmaker. He's not a free flowing playmaker. He's more of a like
Transition playmaker.
transition, set you up in a pick and roll, but he's
Got
not
it.
like a free flowing type of playmaker.
Got
like
it.
Tyus Jones, you see a lot of his play style is free flowing, give the ball out, make quick decisions,
Mhm.
make the extra pass. John Wall is more of a ball
Mhm.
playmaker, like ball dominant.
I got you.
playmakers.
I understand.
He's more of a he's a better interviewee than he is a player right now.
Why you got to be rude?
I'm
That
just
was-
saying.
that interview
His
was
interview
fire.
was amazing.
That
It was, but that was-
He was a great guest.
that was
was
a backhanded
That
compliment.
was crazy.
Come on.
As of recently, he has been.
Let's just do better.
I agree with that.
No, but yeah, I think they need a point guard and a backup center.
Go.
And I think only one of these are realistic
The
as
backup
well.
center.
So I think
You're saying
Yeah.
one, get one
They-
or the other.
they
Got
can
it.
only get one or the other. And the backup center one's tough too. They could probably go after Naz Reid, Jakob Poeltl. Like those are options. But like I said, like they don't have things that any team wants. Like no team wants Brandon Boston Jr.,
Uh-huh.
Amir Coffey, like Jason Preston. Like no team really wants that
Are
right
the
now.
Bucks still trying to get rid of Serge Ibaka?
They might be, but I think at this point he's just like done.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, the Clippers gave him away.
Who, Serge?
Serge
Serge,
Ibaka, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Would you want Serge Ibaka back on the Clippers?
No, you need a point guard.
Well, you need also.
You can live without a backup big now, unless you're playing Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steven Adams isn't
killed me.
worrying you
That
that
killed
much, you know.
That's fair.
Oh,
You're
it's
not
funny.
playing
Yeah, he
Embiid.
got you. That's
No.
good.
So it's really just the Joker. I mean, like, who else is another like Sabonis?
AD?
You have AD. You got to worry about. But even then, they're usually fine against AD. So
Low key,
yeah,
they are.
because Kawhi's strong enough. You know, they have
Mhm.
multiple different type of
And LeBron
lanky
eats.
defenders. LeBron gonna eat regardless. So you're just gonna have to live with that shit.
Facts.
But yeah, outside of Sabonis, and he's not like give you 30. You know,
No.
you live with Sabonis eating you up alive. You know, he's more.
Mm.
His game is like, yo, if he's playmaking at an elite rate and scoring, you're fucked. But just let him eat. You know.
I'm with you.
But Denver is the one team. It's like
Yeah. Aaron Gordon, Jokic,
not
obviously.
even Eric Gordon, the Joker. It's like
No, that's the obvious name.
yeah, they
Terrence Mann could be a player they could move. I'd
they like
trade
Terry
him.
Manson.
I'd trade him. I'd trade Terrence Mann. His playoff run kind of made people think he was
I feel
this
like the Clippers should
young
just
star.
run the squad that they have. Give it a
They
whirl.
probably
They
see
can't
what's
make
up.
any. Yeah, they can't make any big moves. It'd be a small piece if
It's
they get
just
anything.
tough.
We'll wait
because
for the
they-
buyout.
It's just tough because they have certain
Facts.
lineups that are just huge liabilities. Like their 3-guard lineup with Wall, Terrence
Yeah,
Mann,
they stopped
and,
doing that shit.
and Reggie. Like that's been horrible. Even when Norman Powell is one of the worst defenders in the league.
Mhm.
He scores, but he's one of the worst defenders in the league.
This lineup is the best one. Like when they have Norman, Mann, PG, Kawhi, Zub,
Zub.
or they put Morris in there. They have Batum. Like anything, just with four wings and one guard, I think that's their best lineup. Because even though Man is like in at point guard, he's more of just guarding the point guard. Being a cutter, slasher, shit like that. So.
And that's going to do it for episode 250 of the Pick a Side podcast. I'm going to see if there's any super chats we can read before we go, and then that'll do it for the show. There's no more, I think, that we got from the last time. It's been a great day for super chats. $500
Shout out to you guys,
in
man.
the chat.
Shout out. If you're
Thank
still
you
here,
guys
make
so
sure you like
much.
the stream, too. Like the stream if you're still here.
Yeah, 137 likes right now. Let's get that up to 200. But you guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Be tuned and be on the lookout for our Boom Fantasy picks for tomorrow for the NFC and AFC Championship. I'm bouncing back tonight, folks.
Yes, sir.
I saw the disrespect you put on my name on Twitter.
What are you talking
on the
about?
caption. We know who's going to lose tonight. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What time is it?
I tried to reverse jinx you, bro. I was looking out.
Okay, that's good. Do you actually, before you guys go, do you guys want to pick the color of the tumblers?
I do. I would like to.
From
yes.
Santos?
So
Yeah,
Santos allowed me the luxury to choose already. Sorry, guys. So I'm taking the light blue.
Santos.
That's
It
fine.
took
He also
3
said
months to
youngest
get
to
your
oldest,
sweater, and you
so-
get to choose.
Yeah.
That was his last. He said
I
youngest
am
to
last.
oldest.
I am
Ain't
last.
that for you, oldie?
Shout out. This is tough.
I'm gonna get these tumblers out. You guys like up the stream. Let's get these likes up.
You gotta drink coffee with this, y'all.
I'm a grown man.
Black ones. That's why you drink coffee.
Nah.
Hot chocolate with my
I'm not even-
9 sugars.
Wasn't even gonna say that.
With my 9 sugars and milk.
I drink alcohol.
Oh yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, bro has one
Yeah,
fucking
you get
margarita.
bodied. Yeah, exactly.
Margaritas hit you faster than me.
It's not true.
That is true.
I'm a way better drunk than you.
You guys are both lightweights.
It says you.
Says you,
Right? This guy.
jokester.
Nah, Drew. I don't know if you can handle your drunkenness.
What do you mean? I got bodied one time.
You be pretty fucked up.
I get lit.
Nobody can fuck with me, man. I'm a dangerous dude.
Man, stop it.
So these
like
are the
I didn't carry you
tumblers.
out of my crib.
You did.
You're
I drunk
welcome,
a
by
lot.
the way. Yeah, and I did too, and I took care of you.
Okay, John is the youngest one here. So, John, come over here. Pick your color first.
Completely forgot, John. Fuck.
Come on, John T.
John, anyone.
We have green, orange,
should
kind of
pick
like
the
a
green, 'cause-
orange color, and black.
Orange? Blood orange?
Yeah.
You're a little slut for that.
Green.
Like the green is getting.
I love that you
Celtics.
picked
Hey, this was for you.
That looked
you gotta
jet,
do that
that
to
looked, that looked
Dehls.
jet screen to me.
Dehls.
Nah, it's yours. Nah, it's yours. For sure.
Fuck Dehls.
Nah, dude.
No. You're good.
Take
You're
it.
good. You're good. You're
I
good.
promise you. I promise
Take that.
That green. Next
Okay.
up, young boy.
Wow, for me. You know what, man? I feel like with this, man, hold on. Let me see. Let me look at this red first. This doesn't
Look at
look
orange.
very
That's
red.
orange.
This is like orange.
Dark orange.
It's like an
Yeah.
Let me ask
orangey.
you. Are you a fan of this blue?
I am.
All
I
right.
want it.
Draft the orange. I'll take you, and you can
Just
take
take
this
the orange
blue.
right now.
All right, sweetness.
That's all I needed.
I'm gonna go with the black.
I'll go with the dark orange. I got no choice.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So where do you
I
drink
knew
out
you.
of this?
I
How
knew
do
you wanted the blue.
How do you? So Drew, how do you drink out of this?
All right, so you see this little thing right here? You pop it up,
Oh.
and then bang, there's a little entry. Nice.
Oh, okay, like that?
nice. Yeah, there you go.
Shout out to Santos for this, man. Thank you so much. It's really
Santos
cool.
Lopez, pick a side legend. Here
Absolutely.
we
Pick
go.
a side legend, no
Pops
doubt.
down, goes up. Give me.
No, my
relax.
brother, slide it,
relax.
slide it.
Yeah.
Oh, I slided it.
Slide it.
My God, if
I
you would have
slided
broke
it.
it. Oh, and also before we leave, Lakers are beating the Boston Celtics. I just want that to be known before we go.
41 to 43.
Hopefully that doesn't age poorly.
Yeah.
Well, we're the
way.
Lakers, best franchise in the history of the game. So
How
when you
how
talk about
take-
us, you bring
how
respect
take
on
the
our
lid
name,
off?
It doesn't.
like this. So you come right here. Nice.
Why you say it doesn't?
Nice job, Riv.
Just fucking with you, dude.
Rui
Paul
Hachimura catching a heater.
Paul Murray, last
they were
donation of
showing
the
the
of
season
the
stats.
live stream, $5. Riv, come to NOLA in Bourbon Street, and you'll be humbled.
One day.
What is it? Humble pass?
Keep talking sweet on the
That's,
Pelicans, boy.
Oh, the Pels.
That's
You don't like the Pels?
Because he doesn't fuck with BI. Because he's a casual.
So he said,
I'm a
so
Dyson Daniels guy.
Santos just said they're straws,
What?
but I don't know where. I don't see it in the.
It's all right. You don't need a straw. You don't
I'm a
need it.
grown man.
Yeah, exactly.
Santos.
And he said, don't put it in the dishwasher.
Makes sense.
Got it.
All right.
You guys don't.
So
clean.
thank you so much for watching the stream with us. Thank you so much for listening to episode 250. We'll see you
250.
guys next time.